puck. Let's send it ringside for the Landers Auto Group pregame show with the voice of the Mudbugs, Zach Grant.
With the first days of February in the rear-view mirror, we've hit the crucial stretch of the season in the hunt for a playoff spot. Things will not be easy for the Bugs, though, as they face off against the first-place Lone Star Brahmas on the road. On this Friday Night Live for the NITEC Sports Center, North Richland Hills, just outside of Dallas, Texas. Mudbugs hockey is on the air. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zach Grant alongside Duncan Welker, and welcome to the Mudbugs warm-up show, driven by Landers, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, and Fiat. Bugs coming off the weekend split, 6-4 winners on Friday, a game in which they led 6-1 early in the third. Then on Saturday, well, things took a turn for the worse, dropping the game 4-2 in a sloppy defensive effort against New Mexico. As we look back at this Saturday, it was a struggle. Early goals for New Mexico got them out on front. Bugs were never able to recover. With that was a consequential loss as the Bugs dropped out of that last playoff spot and 1 point back of the Warriors after Oklahoma beat Amarillo. So that's coming up at George's Pond. 5 p.m. puck drop there, and the Saturday contest was moved to March 17th. That's a Tuesday night at 7:11 p.m. A crucial stretch, and it starts tonight as the Bugs look to take the lead in the season series against the Brahmas from north of Dallas. Our warm-up show rolls on after this quick timeout on the Mudbugs Broadcast Network.
Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com. Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker. Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty or flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meats in the Stonewall, Louisiana area, and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home Meats, the perfect old school smoke-flavored sausage, and doing old school sausage the way it was meant to be.
This is Ramesses Tremblay, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Back here in the Metroplex is the Mudbugs warm-up show driven by Landers. Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, Ram, and Fiat drives forward. Zach Grant, voice of the Bugs, with you from NITEC Sports Center, alongside of Duncan Welker just outside of Dallas, and we have an abbreviated pregame show here with some technical issues, but we'll go ahead and jump right into it, Duncan, as we get set for the Brahmas and the Bugs tonight. Here's a look at our injury report and our starting lineups.
Thank you, Zach. Of course, it's now time for your Morrison DeWitt Injury Lawyers Injury Report, brought to you by our friends at Morrison DeWitt Injury Lawyers. In terms of injuries for the Bugs, only one name, that is number 36, Joe Samango, undisclosed injury reported last week in New Mexico. Talked to him earlier. He plans on trying to recover by the next time the Mudbugs are back at home inside George's Pond at Hershey Coliseum. And of course, in terms of healthy scratches, number 20, Gordon Guerrero, and number 37, Jason Simons. That's all for your Morrison DeWitt Injury Lawyers Injury Report. Once again, brought to you by our friends at Morrison DeWitt Injury Lawyers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Whataburger starting lineups, presented by our friends at Whataburger. Whataburger, just like you like it. Firstly, for these Lone Star Brahmas, head coach by Dan Wildfong, assistant coach Logan Murphy, and head equipment manager is William Klein. At the left wing, number 10, Christian Vencinque, taking the faceoff, and at center, number 7, Tyson Scanlon. And at the right wing, number 77, Jackson Vates. On the left, defense number 3, Liam O'Keefe. And on the right, defense number 4, Alexander Oliver. And in net for the Lone Star Brahmas tonight, number 30, Leo Gabriel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Whataburger starting lineup for your Shreveport Mudbugs. At the left wing from Manhattan Beach, California, number 12, Duke Earhart. At center and taking the opening faceoff from Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, number 23, Evan Hoagland. At the right wing and from Woodlands, Texas, number 15, Jonah Chester. At the left defense from Dublin, Ohio, number 5, Owen Case. And at the right defense from Denver, Colorado, number 6, Remy Pusateri. And getting the start in net tonight for your Shreveport Mudbugs, in between the pipes, the Rochester, New York native, and the Providence commit, number 35, Ethan Phillips. Your Mudbugs are led by head coach Jason Subi Campbell. Assistant coach is Brett Smith. Honorary assistant coach is Chris Lane. Willow's Knight athletic trainer is Hunter Robinson. And, of course, your head equipment manager with the Shreveport Mudbugs is Billy T. Welker. Those are your Whataburger starting lineup. Brought to you by friends once again at Whataburger. Whataburger, just like you like it. And, of course, Zach, about a minute and change here left in the pregame festivities. And personally, I know a lot of Mudbug fans made the drive over here to North Richland Hills, Texas. But I also know there's a lot of fans back at home in the Arklatex listening, including our Mudbug insider, Matt Nelson. So good stuff there from the man, the myth, the legend, Matt Nelson. But more importantly, the Bugs fans are very plentiful here tonight at the NITEC Sports Center, and as it's affectionately known, the Shoebox.
Absolutely, and the other thing I was talking before the game, Owen Case's family, they came out in droves. His parents flew down from Ohio. The relatives all flew in from the Carolinas, so they've got a group of about 20 off to our right. Pending technology, we're having some technical issues. We're going to try to talk to them in the first intermission, so stay tuned for that. And due to our abbreviated pregame show, we're also going to have our interview with head coach Jason Soupy Campbell in that first intermission. So a couple of programming changes there, but we're going to get through it as we've got the Bugs and Brahmas here tonight. Quick thoughts, Duncan, here. Defense is going to be a huge part. Lone Star is outscoring opponents by almost 60 goals so far this year.
No, you're absolutely right. Defense has to be a crucial element. And one of the things I talked to, a couple of guys on this team about is the penalty kill. We saw it last week, especially last Saturday in New Mexico, the penalty kill. Very plentiful, but also it still needs to be crucial. The defense corps, of course, getting start tonight. As I mentioned on defense, Owen Case and Remy Pusateri just needs to be as crucial as possible. I don't think it can be said anymore, Zach. Crucial, crucial, crucial as we wind down here and get ready for the national anthem. And they announce their starters, Lone Star Brahmas here.
Absolutely. A huge couple of games this weekend for the Bugs, as big as February hockey could possibly be. We'll take one final timeout on the warm-up show. Opening puck drops between the Bugs and the Brahmas for the Big D, Dallas, Texas, comes your way next. This is Bugs Hockey on the Bugs Broadcast Network.
Specialties is a proud corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey. Fireplace, gas logs, glass doors, wood stoves, mantle and grills, they've got it all. They're located at 8500 Box Road in Shreveport or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Once again, that's fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties is your fireplace headquarters. Hey, Mudbug fans, if you're looking for the perfect spot for a birthday party, corporate event, school trip, or any other private outing, just call us at George's Pond here at Hirsch Coliseum at 318-636-7094 to book your event today. Once again, that's 318-636-7094 here at George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
Are you planning a group night at the rink? Bring out your friends, coworkers, classmates, or teammates and take advantage of special group rates for future Mudbugs home games. Groups of 10 or more get tickets for just $10 each. It's affordable, it's fun, and it's a perfect night out at George's Pond. Call 318-636-7094 today to book your group and lock in your seats for all the Mudbugs action.
Hey, this is Tyler Hodges, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Welker. Now let's get back to the action.
Alrighty, National Anthem wrapping up. It's about time for hockey on this Friday night. Zach Grant, Duncan Welker, the NITEC Sports Center just outside of Dallas here in North Richland Hills as the Brahmas and Bugs get set to do battle for the 5th time this year. We've had 2 sweeps so far in the season series. Bugs got the better of the Brahmas last time in this building, and then, well, the Brahmas returned the favor back at George's Pond.
Yeah, of course, it just seems like sweeps are the name of the game in this series so far this season. And, well, I don't want to predict anything because as I've seen and heard with people predicting sweeps on this broadcast, it doesn't end well. But now, more importantly, the main thing, just play one shift at a time, one period at a time. Yeah, honestly, just 1 minute, 1 second, 1 microsecond. Basically what I'm saying is don't take it for granted. Just keep it going and just have fun, but also play Mudbugs hockey.
All right, just about set to go here. The teams head back to their benches. Starting 5 come out there. I'd like to remind you that this first period tonight brought to you by Advanced Air Conditioning and Heating, offering installations, repairs, and maintenance for homes and businesses in the area. Log on to advancedac.com. That's advancedac.com. 39 games are behind us. Only a handful remain as the Bucks try to get back into that last playoff spot in the South Division after Odessa swept the Brahmas. We'll get to that at our next whistle. But in this building, and we're ready to go. The puck is down, and game number 40 is underway as Tyson Scanlon will send it into the Bugs' end as Remy Pusateri gets the first touch on it for the Bugs. Drops her on the board's far side. Bugs in the white tops and the black pants, skating left to right in this opening frame as Hoagland brings it in the right side. Get over the line, into the corner, knocked off the puck. Tracked down back of the cage by O'Keefe. Flip up the wall, Remy throws the body around. Back out to center comes Jasper, gets his touch pass. Back to the blue line, gives it across. Earhart overskated it for a moment, got it into the zone regardless as it's sent back of the Lone Star net. Goaltender out to play it for the first time. That's Leo Gabriel, one of the all-star goaltenders in this league. It's been a big reason why the Brahmas have outscored their opponents by almost 60 goals in their 39 games so far this year as Adams tries to stick it to center. Scanlon throws the body at the puck. Far side, just barely in over the line is Jackson Vates. Back of the cage, picked up again by Evan Adams. Just about a minute gone in this opening period here in North Richland Hills, Texas. Giveaway right in front. Lexel down to the bottom of the left circle. Gerhard will track down a loose puck, flips it up the half wall. Held in, Isaacson, he's the leading scorer with 36 points on the year. He'll hand it out to center ice where it's picked up by Capano, and he'll send it in deep, go off for a change. Takes a weird hop right to Isaacson. Fed it to the blue line for Lexel, but it's intercepted. Sakrisky up ahead. Here's Gerhard down the line. Back for Sakrisky. Right circle. Hits the brakes. Tried to send it into the slot, but it's turned over back the other way as Isaacson up the far side in front of the board. Just barely brings it in onside. Down the slot. Drops it off for Lexel. At the hash marks, he couldn't corral it cleanly, and the Bugs will turn it out of the zone as Zach Wilson gets a touch on it. Swings it back to the circle for Roberts. Jeremiah up the center of the ice. Minute and 40 seconds gone opening period as it's played back again behind the nets in the defensive end for the Brahmas to the blue line. Not held in by the Bugs. They got a tag up. Now it's rifled down from center. Near side, it's got to be a foot raise, won by John Burnt. He'll play it up to the middle. This is going to go all the way down, and an icing call brings us our first whistle with 18:03. So again, we talked about some crazy things in this league. Odessa got the sweep in this building last weekend against the Brahmas.
No, that's absolutely, well, I wouldn't say crazy, but honestly, that just adds to the beauty, I'll put it like that, of the North American Hockey League South Division. You gotta love it. And one of the main things I'm noticing as the faceoff comes out to the left-hand side of Ethan Phillips here, the puck's a little bouncier than it was the last time we were here at the NITEC Sports Center. It seems bouncy puck seems to be a theme in this league, and you know what? Nothing wrong with that.
There we go. Here's Tremblay up the near wing. Bugs come in scoring 2.74 goals a game, and the Brahmas are #1 in defense in the entire NAHL. 2.12 goals against per game. What a number there. The Bugs got to have to maximize their chances and play some solid defense here like they did Friday night in New Mexico. Saturday was a little disappointing on that front as it's brought in quickly. Geller over the line, into the slot. Fed it there. Shot in front of a knee is going to be stopped by Ethan Phillips. That's another big storyline here. Ethan Phillips getting his first start since the second game of the new year against New Mexico, or actually Corpus Christi, second game of the series there, was his last start. So we'll have to see how he settles in early.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a change. Of course, we're used to seeing Tyler Hodges, but Ethan Phillips, I believe, has the ability to do some things differently than Tyler Hodges, and obviously vice versa. As the faceoff goes to his right-hand side, looks like McFadden will take it for the Brahmas. That's Dylan McFadden, and in for the Bugs, number 18, Gabriel Lopez Corsi. Good to see him back in the lineup.
So it's one of the wall. Bugs control. Wrapped around the boards, far side. Wolf Talby tracks it down, leaves it off into the corner. Bugs try to break it out to the blue line, held in on a nice back check by Lucier that time, and that shot fire for the right point. Goes into the left corner, tracked back down again by McFadden. McFadden back of the cage. Bugs trying to clear it out. Wolf Talby flips it up the far wall. Into the right corner it goes. Bugs again. This is now the third and fourth try to get out of the zone. Something they cannot do tonight here as we're 3 minutes into the opening period. No score. Bugs and Brahmas here and just outside of Dallas, Texas. In the left corner it goes. Tied up on the wall. Back of the cage. Bugs have it below the goal line. Looking to break it out. Nice move there by Lopez Corsi. Changes direction. Gets knocked down. Wraps it around the board. And it's going to be played up to the blue line and flipped out to center ice. Picked up by Pusateri. Gloves it down. Icing waved off, but the Bugs still had to tag up with the late offside, so they'll do so. And Liam O'Keefe will track it down back of the Lone Star net. Tried to feed it out of the zone. Barrett holds it in. Blue line. Shot there. Tipped in the slot by Earhart. Nice save there by Gabriel. Rebound for Barrett. That goes off the skate of Earhart. Into the near wall it goes. Up the half wall. Out to center ice. Come the Brahmas in black. Skating right to left. And we're going to get an icing whistle here. That was a close one, but just barely behind the line. Stops time with 16-18. That's in the opening frame.
Sorry, brother, didn't mean to interrupt you there. Very close icing there indeed, as the shots right now here on the scoreboard in front of us. Not rain, but 2-1 in favor of the Bugs right now. So faceoff goes to the left-hand side of Leo Gabriel. Looks like Evan Hogan will be on the draw there.
Face off the near side. The linesman's going to back the near wingers up, so we'll reset again. Hogan to take the draw. Right side. Offensive end for the Bugs. Went it back to the blue line for Adams. He'll toe drag and fire one that whistled wide of that. Picked up far side by Reed. Reed will fire it in. Goes off the board. Below the goal line, it's controlled in their own end. Alexander Oliver with it. He's got 5 points on the air. The 5'10", 185 defenseman as this puck comes up and out of play. That'll draw us a whistle with 16:04. And now already mixing it up right there in front of the bench as they tried to get all the wingers out there with the. We're not permitted to change with the puck going out.
Oh, that's the. Well, some say genius, some say insanity of Dan Wildfung right there, former Mudbug, but no, they tried to get a change and they couldn't do such that as the puck went out of play, right? And it looks like Section E there, I think it was.
I don't know if I've been here long enough for an opinion, so we're going to leave that one to you. That's like a year 3 thing, and this one goes up into the netting and again out of play, so we'll do it again here. Offensive zone for the Bugs, 15:58 left. Shots are 2-1. A lot of action so far, but not a lot of shots on net.
No, you're right. Not a lot of shots on net, as we both mentioned. Puck is bouncy, but a lot of physicality from both sides, from both these Lone Star Brahmas, and of course the Mudbugs. So seems like, well, as with any version of this rivalry, whether it's a WPHL version, CHL back in the day, or right here in the North American Hockey League, physicality, name of the game between the Bugs and the Brahmas.
Brahmas defensive end, working up the near side for Leo Isaacson. Slides it across at the blue line, over the line. Big drive there, whistles wide. Wrapped around the boards, into the corner it goes again. Tied up along the wall, goes to Jonah Jasser, far side. Jonah took a while to break out with the Bugs. He started with a 12-game scoring drought. Eventually has now compiled 17 points in his third Mudbug season. And he is the captain of this Mudbug squad. And love to see him mixing it up and defending his guys. This one's touched ahead by Earhart all the way down. Bounces up over top the net. Back of the cage it's played. Picked up to the left side of the net. Long pass, and that's going to be wide of Capano's stick and all the way down for an icing whistle.
Of course, all icings this season are brought to you by our friends at Louder's Baking Company. Once again, that's Louder's Baking Company, the newest corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. And it was interesting. Gabriel thought it was an icing, but he was able to get deflected right here on the other side of the stick of the Brahma mascot. It's breaking at center ice, and then he just went back down the other way. So.
Here we go, face off far side. Sakrisky wins it back to the wall. It's Wilson, nice toe drag into the slot at the blue line. Somehow stayed on side. I don't know how he did that, but it's backhanded down to the top of the right circle for Burnt. Into the corner it goes. Along the near wall, Gerhard tries to cycle it back up top. Goes off of Capano, flips up in the air. Into the skates now of Leo Isaacson, the leading scorer, out to center. Now it's Lexel, brings it up the ice, down to center. Drops it off at the blue line. Far side, wrapped into the corner by Sable. Back of the cage, it's played again. Burton blew a tire and went down. Goes up for Gerhard, though. Tied up along the hash marks, near side wall. Sakrisky also went for some help, but Sable gets a piece of it, trying to feed it to the blue line, but it's over everybody's sticks and back out to center with Eric Alexander, the tall defenseman, will play it. Another stoppage with a puck out of play, 14:33. If we were at home, Johnny's Pizza House would be getting a lot of shout-outs.
Of course they would, but Oh, God, I could use a Johnny's Pizza right now. Especially the sweep the swamp that's going on there right now. That's always the special right around this time of year. Of course, in the North Louisiana area, the face-off comes right out in front of the Bucks bench, so just have to wait to get back home for that.
I'd like to remind you that Johnny's Pizza House, of course, is a proud corporate partner of your Mudbugs. Let's share a slice of the best pizza in town. Wrapped around the board's far side for Geller. Feeds it below the goal line. Back and forth they go behind the Bugs net. Owen Case, his family again. There's 20 of them sitting down to our right. They made the trip in from North Carolina and Ohio as well. Tried to feed it to the slot with the Brahmas. A lot of Bugs fans made the trip this weekend. Glad to see all the purple out there. Of course, a lot of purple. Anyway, with the Brahmas, here's the giveaway. That one goes off the crossbar and up into the netting, but we talked with Soupy about it. We'll hear that in the first intermission. We love seeing the fans make the trip, and with the way the geography is set up, this is one of the few times the Bugs fans get to go on the road and follow the Bugs.
Oh, sorry about that. Of course, no, you're right, and you're seeing a lot of the correct purple, as well as the teal and red and black, basically every color of the Mudbugs colorway. It's always nice to see it as face-off comes out to the left-hand side of Ethan Phillips. So.
Back to the blue line, it comes out to center. Tracked down by Alexander Oliver. Back to the blue line far side. Feeds it up to the blue line again for Lucier. He'll dump it in. Adams will win the foot race behind Phillips. Off to the right of the net, trying to get it out from the corner. Poloni gets a stick on it. Good battle there with Lucier again. Now back across far side for Oliver. Oliver chips it up the half wall, try to feed it into the corner. Bugs get it back to the blue line as Lopez Corsi will play it ahead as Wolf Talby, the other double banger last name out there, is mixed up behind the play. Gabriel fell down there, and now they think Lopez Corsi touched him. That's why there's a little bit of a mix-up going in the slot, but now the Brahmas will settle it down back of the net. 13:20 to go in a scoreless opening period. Bugs and Brahmas, the fifth meeting out of 8, these two teams. They're supposed to play each other 2 weeks ago at George's Pond, but Snowmageddon happened, so we will see them at home on March 1st, the first of those 2 games rescheduled. Here's the giveaway right in front. Into the slot. Shot there, tipped up in the air. Phillips got it with a skate blade, and a great play by John Burnt to have the wherewithal to steer it away from the crease as the Bucks play it up. That could have been dangerous there. Here's Weitz over the line right side, and that's going to be an offside whistle. That'll stop time. But Phillips, we talked about it, hasn't played since that second game against Corpus, so we're talking almost a month now. Great wherewithal to stay with it with the puck bouncing up in the air.
Oh, that even got my heart race, got my heart something just doing that. Well, it might also be the energy drinks, but no, that was something. And of course, as you mentioned, Johnny Byrne able to have the wherewithal to clear the puck off the line. So good stuff there.
It's played by the Bugs defensive end, Zach Wilson. Toe drag in the slot, lost it. Remy picks it back up, and the tallest deep pair back out there. But here's Capano on a steal. Big shot there from the slot, a rebound, and the Bugs clear the traffic out in front. Phillips comes in with a 2-4 record, 299 goals against, 891 save percentage. Again, first action since the game against Corpus, which is my second week with the Bugs. And talk about how long ago that feels like. But nonetheless, the Bugs have been on the road for a while. We'll be back at home, I promise. February 20th and 21st against the Odessa Jackalopes, who have found their stride as of late, as the Brahmas will clear it out. Up ahead to center, Remy Pusateri will slide it across at the blue line for Owen Case. Flips it up for Earhart, outlet pass into the slot. Poke checked away. Back to the blue line, held in. Case fat battles a couple of Brahmas, but it's going to be Tyson Scanlon to bring it up the near wing. Onside, off to his right, into the slot. And Owen Case with a harassing back check forces the puck into the corner. Below the goal line again, giveaway right in front. Big drive at point-blank range, and Phillips will pounce on top of it as we stay scoreless with 11:48 to go in the first.
Oh, you love to see it from Ethan Phillips. Point-blank range. Honestly, that could have been the most deadliest shot right there Ethan Phillips has faced all night. Able to have, once again, the wherewithal to just come up and just get it going and just smooch the pads and cover it up. Well, he didn't smooch the pads, like I said the other night, but you had the wherewithal, though, as it goes off to his left-hand side.
That was Christian Ventasinkwe down the slot. Here's a big drive again, and Phillips will stop. You know, the only thing longer than Christian's name is his line score. 28 points, 12 goals, 16 assists. He's had a good year for the Bugs, or for the Brahmas, rather. Actually, he's had a good year for the Bugs, too. They haven't played that well against Shreveport.
No, he is not. Last time we were here, and you mentioned his name, last time we were here, I had a fun interaction with the media team. He was like, oh, I've heard it many different ways. His father has told them many different ways. So that was interesting. But, of course, on that last save attempt, Ethan Phillips able to, now he was able to smoosh the pads together, covered up as it goes right back again to his left-hand side.
One back to the blue line, into the corner it goes on the stick of Nasruddin that time. Back up to the blue line, quick drive through traffic. That's blocker to side. Willie picks it up near side, flips it up ahead out of the zone. Glove down at center by Alexander. It bounces free back to the line for Nasruddin. And he kind of off balance there. It's going to allow the Bugs to win the foot race with the puck at the blue line. Right circle, it's Griner. Backhanded shot, trickles towards the net, goes wide behind the cage, flipped up the far wall again. Pinked out to center ice by Geller, the 5'10 forward for the Brahmas. He'll bring it in. Left back for Evan Adams. Adams had an assist Friday night against New Mexico. Got back on the scoreboard. Here's Vinny down the slot. Big drive, and that's the lethal stick out there when Vinny DiUlio's got a puck in over the blue line.
No, you're absolutely right. It's almost, well, I wouldn't say it's almost automatic, but it's, whew, yeah. And, of course, now we've seen a little more shot action, 6-2 in favor, although in favor of the Brahmas. But, no, it's, you're right. When the puck gets on Vinny DiUlio's stick, just be alert, be wise to the action as the faceoff goes out here to the left of Leo Gabriel. So
Vinny's got 4 goals, 6 assists, 10 points total on the year. He's got a 3-game point streak. He had a goal back-to-back games, El Paso Saturday, New Mexico Friday. Also got an assist against New Mexico on Saturday. So again, 3-game point streak for Vinny. And Vinny, of those 4 goals, I think they've all been kind of that go over the blue line and just shoot it variety. That shot goes on net from O'Keefe. Picked up back of the cage by Reed. Flips it up the near wing. Here's Gerhardt out of his own zone up to the center red line before he dumps it ahead. And it's tracked down in the corner, rifled around the boards by Oliver. Far side, Bugs will pinch and hold it in. Roberts tried to pitchfork it into the corner, but it goes up into the netting and out of play. Stops time almost midway through the first with 10:36. But yeah, Vinny does not get very many rebound goals. It's a lot of doing it himself.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. You're able to get the puck in over the blue line, fire it, see what happens. And with Vinny, in Vinny's case, obviously, been able to lead to some goals, and in other cases, lead to some rebounds, shot attempts, and that's what the Bugs need, especially as it's 7-2 now in favor of the Brahmas shot attempt-wise.
And Lopez Corsi won the draw back to the blue line. Hard-fought win. Here's Remy. Fires it. Tried to feed it to the tip man on the doorstep. That was Lopez Corsi looking for his first goal of the season. As Owen Case, who got his second goal of the season last week, and he will just send that towards the net, and that's going to maybe cause some things as they will dust up in the corner. Bugs and Brahmas, no strangers to each other, and there's certainly no love lost out there between the black and purple and the red and white.
Oh, absolutely no love lost. And like I mentioned, well, actually, I've mentioned this several times, both when I did the game solo last time we were here in North Richland Hills, almost 30 years of action between the Mudbugs and the Brahmas, and it doesn't matter if it's in the Western Professional Hockey League back in the day in the 90s or in the Central Hockey League. If it's a Bug and it's a Brahma, you're going to see physicality, and especially now here in the North American Hockey League, you're really going to see it all.
Well, plus, you know, as we look at the South Division, there's really only one geographical rivalry for the Bugs, and it's the Brahmas. Everybody else is, you know, Lone Star is about 3.5 hours from Shreveport. Everybody else is 5+, as this is flipped all the way up ahead to the blue line. Bounces to the stick of Vincent Sanquay. Nice move in front, and Phillips again up to the task to make the stop with 10:07 left. And Duncan, we're checking out the YouTube live chat here. We've got some international listeners watching from Calgary, so I want to say hi to them watching, and everybody else tuning in tonight on NATV, or of course, as always, on the Mudbugs Audio Network on YouTube. And again, a lot of Bugs fans also making the trip here to just outside of Dallas.
We love to see it. Bugs fans, I would say Mudbug fans are like LSU fans or Notre Dame fans. There's Bug fans everywhere you go. So.
In the corner it goes, flipped up ahead into the slot as the Bugs try to work it out. It's Earhart down the middle. Dumps it in for the blue line. Gabriel out of his net, right side to play it. Almost lost it, but it goes back up to the blue line, almost. But Earhart instead is going to turn and fire it into the corner. Far side it goes, right side of the zone is Alexander trying to clear it out for the Brahmas. They'll work out to the left of the net as John Burt pinches at the blue line. This one's cleared down, and we're going to get an icing whistle as Jonah Chasler provided a nice screen there on Nathan Murray, allowing the foot race to be won by Zach Wilson. That'll be a stoppage with 9:39.
Of course, as I mentioned, all icings this season are brought to you by our friends at Lowder's Baking Company. Once again, that's Lowder's Baking Company, the newest corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs hockey. And honestly, best king cakes in Shreveport. I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, best king cakes in Shreveport. And of course, we mentioned the Mudbug fans coming in here to the shoebox, NYTech Sports Center. I see a lot of NAHL era jerseys, but I see a lot of my favorite CHL era jerseys around the building. So a lot of history, Zach.
I say we're throwing it back with those. And now Julia will have to come in to take it for the Bugs as Tremblay gets thrown out of the face-off circle. And it's controlled by Vitti. Centering feed in the slot. Knocked away. Sends it back up to the blue line and over the stick of the point man and all the way down. As it's going to have to be tracked down now by Mitchell Reed. His last point came December 12th against El Paso. And he's in his first Mudbug season. Played with Owen Case. Of course, as we talk about all the time, you talked about with them last week, and Alex Anderson did as well on KTBS as Griner went it off to the side of the net, back of the cage. And in that team, they went to the Nationals, and he played in 5 games, had an assist at the national level for the Ohio Blue Jackets 18 AA. And all the way down, give it away right in front. Down the slot it goes, but immediately harassing back check by Evan Adams will steal the puck away and try to feed it to Mitchell Reed. It's eventually controlled by Griner, who throws a screen. Now the puck is thrown towards the net from the far wall, chipped up and out to center. Heads up play there by Willie to get it just barely out of the zone. And now Griner will get the loose puck somehow as he battled through 3 Brahmas to track it down, but Lone Star eventually turned it the other way as Pryor will send it across far side right in front of the Brahmas bench, all the way back down. Leo Gabriel out to play it. Gabriel, we mentioned, great goaltending numbers for him. A 1.57 goals against average, a 926 save percentage. I don't know the last time I saw a goals against average under 2. At 1.57 is impressive, as this is one for Pusateri, who banks it off the boards from center. Glove down and eventually controlled by Damphouse. Damphouse flips up the wall far side. Bugs will chip it at their own bench. Back to their own blue line. Gerhardt feeds it back into his zone for Pusateri. Up ahead on the breakout for Chase. Zakrisky over the line. Dances into the slot. Tried to hit Roberts, who gets knocked down away from the play. Puck wraps around the far boards again, picked up by Chase. Centering feed for Gerhardt, who fires one time at the top of the slot. This is cleared down. And instead of going all the way down like they wanted, it goes into the bench for a whistle with 7:50 left in the first.
And looks like we're getting ready to go into break here, Zach. And of course, one of the names you mentioned, that's Denver Dampus, the son of former NHLer Vincent Dampus. So good stuff there. Nothing game between the Bugs and the Brahmas. Shots 8-4, 7:50 left. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
Hey fam, this is William Alexis Tremblay, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Walker. Now let's get back to the action. Let's go, Bugs.
Porters and Dester delivering the difference for Mudbugs hockey. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, providing formats, uniforms, and facility services for your company. And as always, Mudbugs hockey is brought to you by Sonic Drive-In. This is how we Sonic. 7:50 left, opening frame. No score, Bugs and Brahmas. Brahmas out shooting the Bugs 8-4, but Ethan Phillips has been big in that thus far. Offensive zone face-off upcoming now for the Bugs. It's Lopez Corsi in to take it far side as the shoebox gets loud in here with all the sound bouncing off the aluminum ceiling. It's one back for Burt, who rifles one right off the face-off for the blue line. Dumped down into the right corner. Lopez Corsi providing some defensive pressure. Flipped up the wall. They try to feed it for Owen Case, but he'll send it into the corner. Back out to center ice it comes now as John Burt tracks it down his own blue line. Leaves it off for Owen. Owen cycles it back into the zone. Feeds it across far side. Set back near side. Wolf Talby will flip it gingerly off the boards on a backhand, but eventually controlled by Lone Star. Lucier flips it up the near wing. And here they come in over the line right side. Far point. Shot there, deflected aside to the far half wall into the corner. Case and Burt, the two deep pair, providing a screen, but right in front, a great chance. That's batted down by Wolf Talby. Played down with a high, or actually washed out as it was touched up. So O'Keefe will play it back out to center, and a big hit there delivered away from the plate. Ryan Barrett throws the body around. Stick to head. Bugs will go off for a change. Quickly, McFadden the other way. Will dump it in over the blue line. Owen Case tracks it down at the near circle. Flips it across far side. Bugs try to start the breakout. 6:48 and rolling here in the first period. Shot there from the blue line is kicked aside. Rebound, one-time drive for Earhart, and they're going to say the Bugs were offside, so that'll stop time with 6:42 here left to go in the first period.
Not gonna lie, it was an interesting call, and maybe my eyes aren't working as well as they used to. I'm getting old, Zach. I'm 23, but of course, again, that's why I'm not down there as a referee. But yeah, fun stuff.
Well, you might not be down there. Some of us are trying to be at one point or another. But as we always say, the fans and sometimes the broadcasters are also fall victim to seeing with our hearts and not with our eyes, as our good friend Mark Johnson of Colorado would say, as it's brought in for Jonah Jasser down to the bottom of the left circle. Into the corner, around the screen of the referee as he tries to dance out of the way. It's eventually controlled by Lone Star. The Brahmas started up right to left. Up the near side, fed across for Isaacson. It's O'Keefe who tracks it down into the zone, hits the brakes, feeds it back below the goal line for Isaacson. Centering feed back up top. He still has it now back for O'Keefe. Slides it across for Damphouse. Damphouse centering feed for Scanlon. Or actually, Isaacson gets hauled down, and Earhart will hold on to it in the defensive end. Leaves it off for Evan Adams. Nice move to get around the back check of Capano. Adams through the center circle. Will dump it all the way down. Gabriel will watch it to his paddle. Back far side corner it goes. Owen Case shoved off the puck that time by Damphouse, a 6'4", 195 defense. But I say he's listed at 6'4". Doesn't quite look it out there as he's got the puck in the corner. Back of the cage, it's played for O'Keefe. O'Keefe up the near side. Then again, sometimes I see it the opposite way. Remy listed as he delivers a big check right on time. Good job, Remy, there. 6'4", looks a lot taller than that as it's played up to center ice. And here's Tremblay quickly with speed down the right wing. Toe drag, trying to feed it around the offensive, or the defender there, that's Vates, but it's eventually turned aside, and the Brahmas pick it back up as Isaacson works up the near wing. Leo Isaacson, we mentioned, leading scorer, 36 points, 10 goals, 26 assists for him on the year. And here's the giveaway for Sable at the near hash marks. Wilson shoves him off the puck. Picked up there by the Bugs to the blue line, not out as Scanlon holds it in. Trying to get around a couple of Bugs. He lost the puck at the blue line. It's fed up for Vinny DiUlio. Slides it ahead for Griner. Stolen away, though. Brahmas pick it back up. Down under 5 minutes to play in the opening period. No score, shots 8-6. Couple of close calls for the Brahmas trying to get on the board first. Bugs have only had really that one quality chance thus far in the game, but they'll bring it up here far side. Across center, dumped in on a backhand and a hit away from the play that time as he dumped it in. In the corner it goes for Grayson Gerhardt. Tied up along the wall, left corner. Below the goal line, it's a 5-car pile up in the corner, whacking at the puck. 4:24 and rolling, opening period. Shots 8-6 again in favor of Lone Star. It's played near side. Up the wall, it's Jackson Bates, a tall forward. Stolen away, and Roberts will send one towards the crease. Rebound goes around for Grayson Gerhardt, who wraps it around the kick plate there. Along the end board to the near wing. Back of the cage, Gerhardt again providing some screening pressure against the 6'4" Damphouse. And Grayson comes in at 6'3". He's taller than Damphouse. They're standing next to each other, and he's listed as an inch shorter. So I don't know who to trust, as this one just barely stayed on side. Now it comes out. Bugs will have to track it back down as Owen Case will rifle it across far side at the circles. Bugs control. Defensive end, it's Roberts up the middle to the right of the center circle. Will dump it in. Icing is washed out. Gabriel picks it back up behind the cage. 3:40 and rolling here in the opening frame. Good back and forth battle here in Brahmaland, as they call it. Just outside of Dallas at the NITEC Sports Center. Controlled at the circles again. Defensive end, Remy. Slides it up for Sakrisky. Chase dodges around a couple of defenders, trying to feed it for Roberts. It's intercepted. Goes off of the referee, which actually might have helped the Bugs there. That goes back to their blue line. Over skated for a moment. John Burke corrals it cleanly now. Feeds it up for Wolf Tobby, who chips it ahead. Nice move around the defender. Wolf Tobby over the line. Lost the puck. It squirts along the wall. Takes the check and goes down in the corner. Back up top for Remy. Remy fires one for the slot. That got poked away. Brahma's control. Flipped up ahead. Trying to get it to the blue line. Gloved down by John Burnt again. Burnt around some back checking pressure to his right. Flips it up the wall. Back of the cage again, played by Gabriel. Over skated it. Got it right back on his paddle. That could have been a dangerous turnover there for the leading goaltender in the NAHL, as Barrett will wrap it around the boards again. Back of the cage, it's played by the Brahmas. Eric Alexander picks it up. Feeds it up the wall near side. 2:41 to go. Opening period, no score. Again, it's controlled by Alexander. We'll settle it down back of the net. Haven't seen too much of that. The teams have wanted to go early on, pushing the pace, but the Brahmas settle here with 2.5 and rolling. Getting a breather here late in the first period. Flipped up ahead, and we're going to get an icing call. So no breather upcoming for the Brahmas, because they're not going to be able to change.
No breathing there. That's puck goes all the way down the ice. And once again, all icing this season, as always, are brought to you by our friends at Louders Baking Company. That's Louders Baking Company. 2:24 left, and shots are once again 8-6 in favor of the Lone Star Piranhas here. And face-off will actually come out to the left-hand side of one Leo Gabriel, as mentioned, the leading NAHL goalie. So fun stuff there.
I mean, if you look through your memory bank, Duncan, quite literally, when's the last time you've seen a 1-5-7 goals against?
Well, I would have to say more so in the pro leagues. One of the goalies that comes to mind is the goalie we had in Evansville. Name escapes me for the life of me, and I know my sister's listening. She's going to tell me it, but
That's what sisters are for.
That's true.
Jasser at center, dumps it in, takes a check. Couldn't get it forward as Capano tried to stick it. Now it's cleared up as Wildfong had to dance out of the way of the puck with 1:54 up into the benches. Get a neutral zone face-off. Intermission report coming up. We'll hear from head coach Jason Soupy Campbell during the break. We had some technical issues early on in the broadcast, so we had the abbreviated pregame show, but we made it work. And hopefully, internet dependent, we'll get to talk to Owen Case's family of 20 he brought with him. So that'll be interesting. Of course, Owen had the big weekend last week, scoring a goal on the road in New Mexico, his second goal of the season and his second against the Ice Wolves. As it's controlled at center ice again by the Bugs. Work it back into their own zone. Remy will stand between the circles. And his 6'4" frame, although I swear he's taller than 6'4". But nonetheless, it's controlled at the blue line by Owen Case. Will turn around, try to feed it for Giulio, and it goes off his stick. That'll be an icing whistle with 91 ticks of the clock left in this first period.
Oh, it's gonna be something here as we go down to the last few minutes of this first period. It's been a how do I put this? Zach, how would you put it? I can't think of the words right now. How would you put it?
It's been a hodgepodge.
Yeah, there we go. Hodgepodge. That's a good word.
That was a good word. That was not my word of the game.
Okay, so I gotta wait to find that one out. All
yeah,
right.
No, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for that.
All
91 seconds to go. First period. Scoreless game. B-zone draw for the Bugs. Far side off to Phillips. His glove side left. And the linesman wants us to wait. Suspense here. We got to get everybody set. Here we go. Now we might go as a restless crowd here at the shoebox waits for the puck drop. Eventually it's down and controlled by nobody as it's just hodgepodge along the wall there. Now it's picked up by Remy. Up ahead through the skates by Tremblay. He gets tied up along the blue line. Back out to center ice it comes. Eventually controlled by Owen Case in front of the penalty box. Through the middle. Dumps it in from on top of the purple bull holding a stick at center ice here at the NITEC Sports Center, home of the Brahmas. It's played up ahead. Here's Lone Star. In over the line is Murray. Drops it off for Geller. Geller down the bottom of the circle. Tried to center it. And that one goes wide here in the final minute of the first. Back up top, it's Damphouse. Left point. Dodges Tremblay. The battle of the 24s over there. Damphouse lost into the corner. Tremblay shoves him off the wall. Then off the back of the net. The Bugs try to feed it for Phillips to cover. Tied up below the goal line again. Bugs eventually working up the far wall. It's Griner out to center ice for Willie. 40 seconds to go. Just got to play defense for the 40 seconds. Don't want to allow anything to happen late in the first period. Going into the intermission, Scanlon will dump it down. Owen Case going to be in a foot race. It's going to be wrapped around the boards, far side again, into the corner. Tracked down eventually by Tyson Scanlon. He's got 27 points on the year. 11 goals, 16 assists. Tied with points with Evan Hoagland for the Bucks. In the corner it goes. Trickles towards the net, 15 seconds. Wrapped around, back up top. Brahmas trying to set it up at the point. That one's up into the netting, and that'll draw a whistle with 9.9. Big face-off upcoming here late in the first period.
Yep, 9.9 seconds. Big face-off. Looks like it's going to go to the left-hand side of Ethan Phillips. I'm not going to lie, when the puck went out into the netting, so it's weird here. So they have like the little, like, how do I put this, kind of stanchions, like mini stanchions, like top stanchions. And it went into the netting, and it made an odd thunk sound. So that was interesting to hear through the headset.
Why don't we just get rid of the netting and let the people up there fend for themselves?
Oh, I love it.
We'll take a luck of the draw here.
Speaking of draws.
Yeah, so we'll do that draw over again. It's becoming a reoccurring theme thus far here late in this first period. 9.9 ticks of the clock left. Bugs can't win it into the wall. Instead goes to the slot, and a rifle of a shot off the faceoff for McFadden. Looking for goal number 5 of the year, but Ethan Phillips denies him with exactly 6 seconds on the clock.
able to catch that one right on in his glove. Like I mentioned, puck to a glove like metal to a magnet.
We're going to use that for Phillips too, huh?
You know what? It's fun. You know what? Magnets don't.
It works. Hey, it works.
Magnets don't discriminate.
It is a saying that works.
Oh, yeah.
So we might as well go with it, as this time the Bugs do what they wanted to do last time, and they'll just hold it behind the net for Hoagland. Now sent near side, and that's going to do it as Scanlon and Hoagland exchange slashes their way, and the linesmen step in. Now everybody's going to come join the party. The referee tries to keep them away. And in a game, or in a series rather, that's always kind of been a little bit testy out there, especially with it tied at 2-2 and the big things that are needing. And now Reed, right as I try to go through that, is going to kind of ruin where I was going with that, as he gets tied up with 4 different Brahmas. I was going to say it was a calm first period, not a lot of drama, but we're getting some drama here as the teams head off to their respective locker rooms after the first 20 minutes.
Oh, it wouldn't be a Bugs Brahmas game without a little drama as we. So Zach, as I mentioned on the broadcast, we have an interesting setup here at the NITEC Sports Center where we are basically we're in our own shoebox here, and we got the Brahma fans up to our left and right, and of course as they're now sending some words of encouragement, let's put it like that, to these Bugs as they head off right down below us, and I do mean like right down below us.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We're on top of the tunnel here. Words of encouragement, huh? Is that what I'm supposed to say when I referee too? Words of encouragement?
Oh, come on. You got to hit those shoresy word of encouragement.
Well, I'd say those are actually nice words of encouragement. Just a boo, we'll take it. But nonetheless, opening 20 minutes, we talked about the Bugs needing to be good defensively. They had a few breakdowns out there with a couple of big scoring chances for the Brahmas, but overall they've done a pretty good job getting the puck out of the defensive end.
They absolutely did. And of course, the shot-wise, 9-6 in favor of the Brahmas. So not a lot of shots this period, but I think next period definitely going to ramp it up in more ways than one. I think definitely going to ramp it up in terms of the physicality. Well, that's a given. But also shot-wise, I think you're going to see a lot of amped up, whatever you want to call it, numbers. You're just going to see them tick upwards.
All righty, so now they've started the intermission clock here in Brahmaland. We'll take a timeout on the other side. It's the first intermission report. We'll sit down with head coach Jason Soupy Campbell after the break on the Mudbugs Broadcast Network.
Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com. Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker. Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty and flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meats in the Stonewall, Louisiana area, and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home Meats, the perfect old-school smoke-flavored sausage, and doing old-school sausage the way it was meant to be.
This is Mr. Reed, and you're listening to the Shreveport Mudbugs hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Back here, first intermission. Our first intermission report, as always, brought to you by North Caddo Express Lube in Vivian, offering oil changes, inspection stickers, transmission services, and vehicle and key fob batteries. Mention the discount code MUDBUGS25, MUDBUGS25, and get 10% off your service. Call 318-375-5823. They're doing the youngsters getting out there with the shootout competition. And Duncan, I know you grew up rooting for a different NHL team that's inferior to the Boston Bruins, but nonetheless, I won't hold that against you. But the Bruins used to do this every home game at the Garden, and it was always a lot of fun to watch on Nesson during the intermission.
Well, firstly, Zach, I'm going to move on from those comments right there. But no, as we watch the 10U AA Texas Junior Brahmas shoot here, and, all right, that's a heck of a goal right there.
He's going to be playing for the Brahmas one of these days. So
or the Mudbugs, you never know.
I don't think that well, except for our very own Grayson Gerhardt, who comes from kind of this area, the other side of Dallas, out of Allen, Texas. But I don't know if you're allowed. That feels like cheating. It's like if, you can't have Kaysen coming to play for the Brahmas.
Speaking of Kaysen, he had an excellent night for Michigan against the Ohio State Buckeyes. I was actually reading an article from one of their fan sites. I can't remember the name of the site for the life of me, as we see a nice wrist-hand shot right there past the goalie wearing number 29, which I'm not going to lie, I've always considered number 29 a goalie number. And, well,
that's true.
You know why.
Absolutely. But, yeah, no, it's great to see Kaysen get his chances. He's a good kid. He's a kind of an old-school, scrappy player, which people like. And growing up with Muskie, I'm not surprised. That's kind of his attitude and MO, and you love to see it, though.
No, absolutely. And it's funny, I played youth hockey with him back at the old Century Tell. Well, fans back home know the other name. I'm just going to call it the Century Tell. But no, I grew up playing youth hockey with him, and honestly, it's weird. Moving away from the Shreveport area into Huntsville, I saw him once when he came down for he came over, actually. Shreveport to Huntsville is just over. Saw him when he came over for a tournament, and man, he just had that fire in him, like you mentioned, and it's just I'm excited to see where he goes, especially at Michigan, but honestly, beyond,
Absolutely. Now, we saw the opening 20 minutes. We'll take a quick break here in a second, but before we do, you've seen the opening 20 minutes. Shots are 9-6 Brahmas. They've had those couple of great scoring chances. Bugs have had some shots, not really a lot of grade A chances, though. What do the Bugs have to do after the intermission coming out early second period to kind of right the ship a little bit?
Just got to finish your checks, get pucks to the net, balls to the wall, whatever you want to call it. I know that's a little blunt and a little short-sighted there, but, I mean, it's true, especially if you're going to face off against a team like these Lone Star Brahmas. You just got to take it to them, make them try to backtrack. Now, granted, they don't backtrack much. I've seen the film of these Lone Star Brahmas. They don't backtrack much, but when they do, and you're able to catch them like that, my God, is it something else. But, well, we'll have to see here when 15 minutes comes to pass. Looks like the shootout might be ramping up here. Maybe not, though.
Absolutely. We'll take a timeout here on the Mudbugs Broadcast Network. On the other side, we'll sit down with head coach Jason Soupy Campbell with his thoughts coming to this one. Bugs and Brahmas. First intermission report rolls on.
Fireplace Specialties is a proud corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey. Fireplace gas logs, glass doors, wood stoves, mantle and grills, they've got it all. They're located at 8500 Box Road in Shreveport or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Once again, that's fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties is your fireplace headquarters. Hey, Mudbug fans, if you're looking for the perfect spot for a birthday party, corporate event, school trip, or any other private outing, just call us at George's Pond here at Hirsch Coliseum at 318-636-7094 to book your event today. Once again, that's 318-636-7094 here at George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum.
Alrighty, welcome back to the Landry Dwarmer Show. Talking now with Bugs head coach Jason Soupy Campbell. Soupy, as we look at this game, Smitty praised the defensive performance on Friday against New Mexico. Things got a little rocky defensively there on Saturday. Had trouble clearing the zone. Was it a big adjustment by New Mexico, or is it just a lack of execution on our part?
I think it was a little bit of lack of work. We weren't winning enough races to pucks. They were getting second and first. They were. Even if it was a one-on-one battle, puck would squirt out. They'd have their second guy in there before we would, and they'd win that puck battle, especially in the ozone. It happened several times, and they were able to generate offense off that. Defensively, if you can't stop the puck and stop the play, it becomes extremely difficult to defend because there's just so much movement all the time. So we just got to win more races and more battles on the pucks.
Now looking at the netminder, we've got Ethan Phillips getting a start tonight. First start in a couple of weeks for him. What do the guys up front have to do to help him out between the pipes?
They just need to trust him, which they do. Like let him play. Our game plan doesn't change no matter what goalie's in there. We want to be responsible with the puck. If we're not responsible with the puck, then we're chasing the game. And when we're chasing the game, it makes it hard defensively, which makes it hard on the goalies. So we just have to be good with the puck, smart with the puck, and make sure we're tracking hard when we don't have it, and communicating and ending plays as quick as we can.
I sense defense becoming a theme here because the next question is also about defense. Lone Star, they're very good defensively, outscoring their opponents by almost 60 goals so far this season. So the offense for the Bugs will be a key on the flip side of the game.
Yeah, they've been stingy all year, you know, and that's kind of their MO. Like they defend well, they defend quickly, and they try to outnumber you quickly in the zone and swarm you up and win those battles. So we just gotta, if we're putting pucks in deep, we gotta make sure we're keeping it away from the goalie and getting in on the forecheck hard and having good details when we go in there. They're just like any other team, you know. If you put enough pressure, the right pressure on them, it makes it very hard and difficult to break pucks out. But again, they've done a good job so far up to this point. Lone Star has. They play with good poise, and so we got to put the right pressure on them to hopefully cause chaos in their zone.
Now this series comes in even at 2 games apiece thus far. Sweep for the Bugs in this building in November. Lone Star returned the favor last time we saw them. Setting this up, obviously a sweep would be great this weekend on the road, but with the tight standings, are we kind of focusing one game at a time here with every game down the stretch?
Yeah, 100%. More like one shift at a time. You know, it's just, yeah, we need to win games, but the only way you do that is going out there and winning your battle that you're in, right? It's 30 seconds at a time or 10 seconds at a time, however you want to look at it. You know, situational change. We might have a power play. We got to try to win that battle. Might be on the PK. We got to win that battle. You know, it might be a wall battle, net front battle, or just whatever the case, face off. You know, you just got to go out there and win these little battles that can make a big difference over 60 minutes of hockey, and hopefully it puts us in a good situation to win a hockey game at the end.
Now, big building back on the road here again. Much shorter trip, at least this time, for the Bugs. And I know a whole group of fans coming out to support us this weekend with only, the couple-hour drive from Shreveport. What does that fan support mean to you and the guys?
Oh, it's great. You know, the rivalry itself is great, but then you add the fan support on top of it. They're in here and they're loud, they're proud, and it's pretty awesome. It's a good building to play in, for the guys. It's really exciting. Fans are right on top of you. And when we've got a good crew coming over here to cheer us on, it amps the guys up, that's for sure.
Alrighty, Super. Thanks for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Timeout upcoming on a Landers warm-up show. On the other side, we'll take a trip around the North American Hockey League as we get you set for the 5th meeting of the season. Bugs and Brahmas on the Bugs Broadcast Network.
Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata and Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com. Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker. Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty and flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meats in the Stonewall, Louisiana area, and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home Meats, the perfect old school smoke flavored sausage, and doing old school sausage the way it was meant to be.
This is Mitchell Reed, and you're listening to the Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
No, it's not. Welcome back here. First Intermission Report brought to you by North County Express Lube and Vivian, offering oil changes, inspection stickers, vehicle and key fob batteries. Mention discount code MUDBUGS25. This MUDBUGS25 and get 10% off your service. Call 318-375-5823 for more information. Scoreless after the opening 20 minutes. We've got about 8 minutes left in our intermission. We're kind of doing a new format tonight, kind of trying to blend everything here. We're going to attempt this. We don't know how it's going to work. We're going to see. Duncan Welker is headed over to find the whole party of Owen Case fans here in the house. Again, his parents flying down from Ohio and the rest of the family coming in from North Carolina. There's about 20 of them here tonight. There'll be about half that tomorrow. So we're going to attempt to talk to them and see what happens. So again, we have not tested this yet, so we're going to go in blind, so please do bear with us here at the intermission here as we're going to attempt to get Duncan all connected here and see what we can do, see if we can talk to the Case family as they, again, are here taking in the Bugs and Brahmas, all kind of fans making a trip from Shreveport. Always love to see it. If you couldn't make the trip when you listen to us, thanks for riding along with us here on this Friday night from just north of Texas. Bugs will be back at home the 20th and 21st of February against the Odessa Jackalopes. Friday the 20th is God and Goals Night presented by Word of God. And then Saturday is Paws and Claws Night at the rink. So that's what we've got going on. Lots of fun and exciting things happening. And we're going to be so glad to be back at home at George's Pond. It's been far too long. So we got to get things going here. Let's see if we can get Duncan Welker.
All right, Zach. We're here.
All
I can't quite tell what section we're in, but we're doing our best to get the Case family wrangled up. And of course, they made the trip from various parts of North Carolina and Ohio. So we're gonna try to get Papa Case back. Gotta get Papa Case back here, and it's about 6 minutes left here in the intermission. Hopefully everything's working smoothly on that front, but man, perfect. All right, looks like we're gonna have a Mudbugs Audio Network first interview with Mama Case. So all right, so you are on the air on the Mudbugs Audio Network, Mama Case. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'll put it like so. What's your thoughts on the period so far from this Mudbugs team?
They look like they're doing a great job. We're excited to watch them. We've got a big group. We're hopeful. I mean, they've held it 0-0, so let's hope they get one on the board.
Absolutely, and 0-0 right now. Shots in favor of the Brahmas right now, 9-6, but a lot of physicality from these two teams. As well as about any Mudbug fan will tell you, these two teams are as physical as possible. Of course, your boy Owen Case, he is a fine, upstanding young man.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, and I'm sure both you and Papa Case, wherever he is, actually,
Here he comes.
I think he's making his way out here right now. Howdy, Papa Case, you're on the air on the Mudbugs Audio Network. How you doing? Doing all right. So, as I was mentioning, the Mama Case, of course, right now with 4 minutes left in the intermission period, Bugs are holding the Brahmas right now to a scoreless tie, and of course we get another member of the Case family. Well, I'm excited to tell Owen our conversation because it's been fun. So, what was Owen like growing up? Whoever wants to answer.
He's a great kid. He's upstanding. He works hard. He really sets his goals, and he cheers for them. So
Always an active kid.
We're proud of both of our sons, and we're happy to see him chasing his dreams.
Always active. And not only, you guys mentioned that, he's an active kid, he's active. Well, that's what any sport, they rabble. And I'm going to ask you to get back to your seats. You guys got 20-something people from 20+ from various parts of North Carolina and Ohio. So, and in Texas.
Yes.
You're in Texas. Okay. That's good to know. I'll have to ask Owen the Texas connections and all that fun stuff. So, one last question. Have you guys been enjoying the season so far?
Oh, it's been great. We really enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Yeah, can't get enough of it. It's been amazing getting out of school to go watch it. That's always the best part, getting out of school to go watch it. Well,
Can I give a big shout out to Brianna, who is watching from home, and we're hoping John and Huxley will join us soon. So thanks, Brianna, for being the best billet mom out there.
absolutely. Love to hear it. Well, Case family, thank you guys for joining us here on the North Carolina Trusted Person Miss Show. Hopefully everything got to work because it's been a fun, interesting internet issue and technology issue. Hopefully everything works. Yep. Oh, I definitely look forward to the second period. So, Zach, that's it for me, and hopefully everything worked out fine.
Alrighty, that was Duncan Welker. Sit down with the Case family. 20 in tow with them this weekend as they're wearing the purple jerseys. Actually, they got the purple jerseys. They got the Christmas jerseys. They're all in style here at the NYTEX Sports Center, as are the rest of the Bugs fans who made the trip from Shreveport. Again, as always, if you can't make the trip, we do appreciate you tuning in here. That'll wrap it up for our first intermission show, brought to you by North Carolina Express Lube. On the other side, it's a second 20 minutes in a scoreless game. Bugs and Brahmas on the Bugs Broadcast Network.
Hey, Mudbug fans, if you're looking for the perfect spot for a birthday party, corporate event, school trip, or any other private outing, just call us at George's Pond here at Hirsch Coliseum at 318-636-7094 to book your event today. Once again, that's 318-636-7094 here at George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defatapi.com.
Hey fan, this is William Alexis Tremblay, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Walker. Now let's get back to the action. Let's go, Bugs.
Mudbugs fans, you're playing a group outing at the rink. Ask about group rates for future home games. Groups of 10 or more get tickets for just $10 each. Call 318-636-7094 and book your group today. Bugs will be back at home finally after the much-awaited return of the prodigal son, so to speak, for the Bugs. February 20th and 21st. And prodigal son is fitting because it's Word of God night, God and Goals on Friday, and then Paws and Claws on Saturday against the Odessa Jackalopes. And it'll be so nice to be back at home in front of the fans at George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum.
Home cooking is always important, and, well, personally, I'm missing the Louisiana cooking more than anything, Zach. And, well, it's been a fun experience so far, though, on the road. I've had fun, but, no, I'm excited to be back at George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum, but we got one more. Of course, trip we go to Amarillo and see our old friend, Michael Hill, but, of course, that is in. But tonight, just what'd you call the first period? Trying to remember. What'd you call the first period?
I called it a hodgepodge.
Hodgepodge.
That's what we'll use.
There we go.
So what you're telling me by what you just said is that you do not agree with Smitty that being on the road is better. That's what you're telling me.
Well, yes, but also no. I'll elaborate a little more as we go into a break, but all I got to say right now is both teams up on their feet. Bugs in the white, Brahmas in the black. Evan Hoagland on the face-off. I'm excited, brother. Let's get her going now.
Second 20 minutes of game number 40 are underway as a big hit there as the Bugs will dump it into the blue line. Still not in the zone as it hit off a couple of Brahmas who just stood side by side basically right at the blue line to steal that away, almost like a special teams unit in football would on a punt. But nonetheless, it's brought up by Oliver into the slot. It's scaling quickly as the Brahmas trying to push the pace here to start the second 20 minutes. Shots 9-6 in favor of Lone Star. We're scoreless here in the second period, brought to you as always by our friends at DeFata & Associates. As it's wrapped around the boards again, far side for Busateri. He'll backhand it up to center. Through the center circle it goes for Alexander Oliver. Slides it across near side for Geller. Geller starts to break out for Scanlon. Goes off the edge of his tape and back out to center. Scanlon's got a piece of it, fires it in, goes off of Duke Earhart, who corrals it at his right circle. Off to his left for Wilson. Slides it back across. Now for Earhart at his own blue line. Feeds it up for Owen Case. Got to talk to his family in intermission. And things went pretty well considering our technology struggles here thus far. That's brought in by Capano, and always love talking to our fans who get to make the trip, especially as they bring everybody in tow with them. In the corner it goes for Zach Wilson. Tied up along the boards there. Back of the cage, it's picked up by Leo Isaacson. Isaacson slides it up the boards to the point, set near side. Delacro will hold it in. Centering feed there, poked out. Nice play there by the Bugs defensively. Delacro, the captain, will hold on to it at his own blue line. Snaps it across far side, in over the line quickly is Capano, the forward. He's tied up along the boards. Bugs trying to whack at it. Sikorsky got a piece of it. Brahmas steal it right back offensive end. Now Zach Wilson will rifle around the board, tries to clear, and it does. Just barely get out to center. Almost 2 minutes in to period number 2 in a scoreless game. Brahmas and Bugs here on this Friday night from the NITEC Sports Center, just outside of the Big D, Dallas, Texas, as it's dumped in by Jeremiah Roberts. Gabriel back of his net to play it, has it on his paddle. He flips it off the board, so a weird off. Bugs tried it one time, but John Burnt tried to save it with a toe drag, but it comes out to center, and the Brahmas have a 3-player entry the other way. How they got that developed out of nothing. Rebound in front, and Phillips just barely able to get a piece of it with his skate blade, as it's tied up along the boards again. Along the near wall, flipped up to the blue line. Bugs trying to clear, they can't. Giveaway right in front, backhand shot in the crease, and a big stop as Phillips on top of it, and he robs Jake Tavares, who's looking for his first goal of the season. It's not going to come quite yet.
No, it's not coming that easy, especially when you got Ethan Phillips there, able to make not only a save like that, but of course before he was able to keep it off. But man, not only is Ethan Phillips doing his job right now, this Mudbugs defensive unit, we mentioned it before we started here from the NITEC Sports Center. Bugs defensive core had to do a better job. Right now, they in tow with Ethan Phillips are keeping this a scoreless hockey game. But the big thing is now she's got to get it going down the other way towards Leo Gabriel, as the draw is another fun draw issue, as looks like Sable's going to get thrown out there, and I think that's Geller, I think. Yeah, Geller.
Back along the wall there again. The second period brought to you by DeFadden Associates, Investigative and Risk Analysis Services. Personal matters, child custody cases, or internal theft problems in your business. Call our main man, Jerry, 318-635-9944 to discuss your case. Log on to DeFaddaPI.com. Just under the wire, we got it in there as a quick shot there for Liam O'Keefe. His glove down and held on to for another whistle with 17:24 remaining in a scoreless second here just outside of Dallas. It's been a good back and forth battle. The Bugs got to start getting that offense on fire, though.
No, absolutely. It's just everything's firing from the defensive standpoint as well as from, like I mentioned, the goaltending standpoint. Offensive standpoint, you just got to get it down towards Leo Gabriel. And while we have a moment, looking at our YouTube feed, looks like B Grace 94 says, I'm a huge hockey fan. This is the first time hearing of the Shreveport Mudbugs. Now I need a Mudbugs jersey. Well, definitely get our front office on the horn and get a Bugs jersey. But
they get there, up to the blue line it comes. Scanlon had a piece of it. Now Peterson, first time we mentioned his name tonight, will send it on net. Adams back of the cage to play it. Settles it down off to the right of the net of Phillips. 3 minutes gone. Second period. Up ahead to the blue line. It's Barrett. Now leaves off for Lopez Corsi. Centering feet down the slot. They score. And the Bugs strike first with Wolf Talby streaking down the slot. He's got goal number 5, and it's 1-0.
Excellent stuff there from Liam Wolf Talby. Able to find it in front and slide it right past Leo Gabriel. Offense now able to get it down and get it past Leo Gabriel. 1-0 Bugs, 17:01. I'm excited.
That was a big goal for the Bugs there. We mentioned Lone Star out shooting their opponents by almost 60 goals this season, and you do not want to leave anything to chance having to come from behind against the Brahmas, and the Bugs do not have to worry about it as Lopez Corsi and Barrett get the assist that time. We'll check the official word, but we're going to trust our own eyesight and see what happens. So 3 minutes into this second period, and the Bugs, again, a much-needed goal there to get out on front in this North American Hockey League Friday night tilt. Bugs and Brahmas sent back again to center. Capano overskates it, gets it back, centering feet up ahead. It's Isaacson down the slot right circle. He lost it. Earhart picks it up. Now what you got to do if you're the Bugs is you got to hold on to the lead, because you do not want any issue there with, of course, hockey. Sometimes the goal in hockey will energize both teams, so the Bugs got to take care of that as it's sent in now by Talakro. Back of the cage, plays it up the right side, centering feet up ahead. Right over the line, it's Lopez Corsi and Barrett, of course, the assist on the big goal for Wolf Talby. As it's played, centering feet right out in front. Big drive sent wide of the net by Tavares. Would have beat Phillips stick side, but he sent it wide. 16-11, second period. 1-0 Bugs after the latest goal from Liam. And that one sent all the way down. Icing washed out, picked back up by Alexander Oliver. Oliver into the slot, give away at the blue line. Here's Earhart. Feeds off to the right for Hoagland, who turns and fires from the top of the right circle. That got blocked away in front to the stick of Nasruddin. In a corner it goes, up the wall for Tavares at his own blue line. Sticks it out to center. Up ahead, brought in by Lucier. Lucier down the slot, lost the puck. Zakrisky flips it up, and it goes off of Phillips. Somehow got towards the net, and Now the Bugs will start it out again on the breakout. Gerhard centering feed at the blue line, intercepted. Lucier quickly back the other way. Tried to hit the trailer. He goes for the shot. Instead, it's blocked aside by Phillips. Another big stop for Ethan. Back across, though. They still have it. Oliver feeds it to the middle. Far side. Big collisions happening all over the ice as Wilson back up to his feet. Harasses Tavares off the puck. Takes him down in the corner. Right side of the zone. Wrapped around below the goal line. Gerhard will skate after it. He's got Lucy out of back check, and Gerhard flips it to the blue line, but not out. Again, Lone Star holds it in. Now the Bugs able to clear just barely out to center. Tied up in front of the Brahmas bench. Scanlon will track down the loose puck. At center ice, has it poked away. Wolf probably got a stick on it, or Sakrisky rather. It's rifled in now by Wilson. Goes off for a change. Sent far side again, picked up by O'Keefe. O'Keefe to the middle for Sable. Down the middle of the logo. Has it stolen away. John Burt tracks it down and backhands it out to center up the near wall. Oliver picks it up. The battle of the fours there. Fed across near side for O'Keefe. Up ahead quickly into the zone. Far side, it's Geller. Geller towards the net. Rebound. Had a man waiting on the direct step. That was Sable. But it goes off the edge of his stick. And the Bugs hold on to the lead. Talacro slides it across. Far point. Waiting for his damp house. With a hesitation, sends a shot that gets blocked into the corner. Centering feed there. Bugs trying to work it free out of the defensive end. Good pressure for Lone Star. The Brahmas cycle it back up towards the blue line. High slot. Big drive. And a stick stop that time. Fed over to the wall by Phillips. To the blue line, but not out. Here's Talacro. The barrage continues. Another block shot. Back up top, Damphouse. Centers it down. Bottom of the left circle. Big drive. Sprawling stop for Phillips. How did it stay out? It's tied up, a 5-car pile up there. We get a whistle with 14:03. What a stop and a big hit after the play. Here we go. The temper's starting to flare here with 14:03 left. What a couple of stops for Ethan Phillips to survive the barrage.
No, you're right. Ethan Phillips just able to stop it, and he sprawled out, made the save, although initially the puck was still loose, but he was able to make the save. And of course, now as the fans get rowdy here, and it looks like Jeremiah Roberts is going to go in the box, so the Bugs will be on the first choice personnel penalty kill with 14:03 left. And just, wow, but more importantly, Zach, just a barrage of shots from the Brahmas, able to be stopped away either by Ethan Phillips or by this Bugs defensive effort from all around. But of course, now we'll find out the Bugs penalty kill and the continuation of their valiant efforts so far.
So here we go, 14:03 left. Bucks with a 1-0 lead. They're going to go to the kill. This is the top power play unit in the NAHL. The best, 28.9% for Lone Star. The Bugs faced off the second best New Mexico last week, and they held them off the board so much that the Ice Wolves dropped all the way down to 6th in the power play unit. The Bugs kill has been solid as well, as they sit 6th in the NAHL at 85%. But here's a big chance for Damphouse, who rifles, and a big stop for Phillips, who will glove it down for another whistle with 13:49 on shot number 15 of the evening for the Brahmas.
Puck to a glove like metal to a magnet. I'm gonna be honest. It's going to be a phrase that might need to be put on a T-shirt, but no, I'm kidding. Ethan Phillips able to, as we get some battle of the words here from Tyson Scanlon and Liam, looks like, yes, Liam Wolf-Talby there. So, but no.
Scanlon was going after Vinny, and the last time somebody went after Vinny, it didn't end quite too well for them.
No, it did not. No, it did not.
So here we go, minute 46 left on the kill for the Bugs. Again, the 6th best kill in the league. As it's a big drive whiffed on by Venton Sinque. You don't see him do that all that often, as he just missed a wide open net to the stick side. Here's Oliver, side to the cross, far point. Scanlon hesitates up top for Damphouse, toes the line, sends it near point for Oliver, snaps it back across for Scanlon, down to the bottom of the left circle. Venton Sinque up top, and he flipped it up into his bench and out of play. They'll say it went off the Bugs, I think, so face-off will stay in the D zone with a minute 23 to go on the kill.
There's good stuff initially on here from this Mudbugs first choice personnel penalty kill. Zach just able to find ways to keep the puck out of the net of Ethan Phillips. Of course, Ethan Phillips is doing his job as well, as we mentioned, but now penalty kill effort, there's a reason why. 6th best in the league. And again, that's the league. That's not the division. That's the league. So, but division-wise, remind me, the numbers on that in terms of overall division has to be up the top. Am I correct on that? Penalty kill wise.
It's close. I'd have to go back and look at the top 5. I will say for the power play, Soupy talked about it in his interview last week, but out of the top 10 of league power plays, 6 of them are South Division teams. So, I mean, it has been a special teams battle out there. so far this year. Another ozone draw controlled by Lone Star, but immediately turned aside by Griner as he slaps it all the way down. Gabriel up to the hash marks. He'll leave it off to the right of the net for Nasruddin. So here come the Brahmas on a 5-player breakout. Not quite the flying V, but similar to it as Capano slides it off to the left. In over the line is Scanlon to the bottom of the circle, or Isaacson rather. Back up top. Sent near side Tavares. Corrals it after he almost lost it. Nasruddin, high slot. He's got it quarterbacking out high. Slides it to the left for Isaacson. Isaacson towards the net. Drops it off. Back up top again. Near side. Moving the puck. Well, one-time blast from the left circle for Capano is turned aside, and the Bugs can't clear, though. It stays in at the blue line. Shot on net there. Phillips turns that one aside. Flipped up the wall, and the Bugs chip it out with 30 seconds to go on the kill to go all the way down.
Good stuff there from this. Once again, this first choice personnel penalty kills Zach. Looks like that's for the Brahmas. That's number 6-1. Losick Nasruddin there. So good stuff there. So good stuff here from the Bugs.
15 seconds left on the kill. 12-17 left in the second period. Bugs got the opening goal of the game in that second period. It's Liam Wolf-Talby wrapped around with 8 seconds to go and all the way down up into the netting again. Another puck out of play. That's been a theme tonight. Draws a whistle with 6 seconds on the kill and 12:09 left in the second. Bugs 1-0 on Liam's goal.
And I don't want to go back to that goal just for a few brief seconds. It was really nice. Of course, on the assist there was Gabriel Lopez. Of course, he found Liam Wolf-Talby right in, if not close to the blue paint, pretty close. It was probably like inches away from the blue paint. Found Liam Wolf-Talby there as the faceoff comes out right in front of the Brahmas bench.
There we go. Remy's got it. Back of the net, right side. Rifles it to center ice. Glove down by O'Keefe at center, but Roberts is out of the net. We're back 5-on-5. Successful kill for the Bugs. 1 of 1 today. 11:56 to go. They're going to leave Roberts out there. Up the near wing it comes for Vinny. Diulio in over the line. Drops it off. Hits the trailer. Roberts, who tried to feed it towards the net, goes through the crease. Deflects far side. Barrett battling 3 Brahmas for it. Up to the blue line it comes. Vinny got knocked off the puck. Into the corner it goes again. Tracked back down by their 6'1" forward, Jackson Vates. Brahmas have some trouble getting it out as Tulacro will control it below the goal line. Starts up the center of the ice. Cuts off to his right. Weaving through the middle. Around a couple of defenders. Tulacro in over the line. Fires one. That got tipped in again. Up into the netting out of play. Just not getting much flow here in the second period.
No, not right now with 11:23 left. The flow seems to be as slow as, well, maybe not slow as can be. I've seen slower paced hockey games. As looks like the faceoff's going to go to the left-hand side of Ethan Phillips, and just shot-wise, 16-7 in favor of the Brahmas, Zach. And so they're trying, but Ethan Phillips and his defensive core just making sure those
Leo Isaacson to take the draw here with 11:23 left. Shot 16-7 in favor of the Brahmas. Bugs have just that one shot on goal in the second period. It was the goal for Wolf-Talby, as that one just barely knuckles through the air for Phillips, who hangs on.
Good stuff there from Ethan Phillips, who comes here with 11:18 left here in the second period. So, fun, but slow period so far. Of course, fun being the lone goal on the lone shot from the Bugs.
Near side again, they'll tie it up. Linesman will throw Isaacson out of the face-off dot. So the Brahmas are going to do center. 11:18 to go, second period. Shot 17-7 favor of Lone Star, but Phillips has made some nice saves here. The Bugs have the 1-0 lead as Wilson works below the goal line, changes direction as he slams on the brakes. Feeds off to the left. Now the Bugs bring it out to center. It's John Burnt at the center circle. Will dump it forward. Jasser with offside. Earhart with a nice save. Now it's brought in by Hoagland as he dances around a couple of checks, and it's eventually left off behind the net for Alexander. Flip up the far wall over the head of the linesman, back out to center. Earhart tried to feed it back to his own blue line. Now he does so successfully as John Burnt will retreat back to the circle. Up ahead quickly for Hoagland on the headman pass. Hoagland into the slot, takes a shot that got blocked aside. Rebound tried to hit the trailer Jasser, but that one's turned aside. Earhart steals it away though at the blue line, toes the line and stays onside. Into the corner it went, but Isaacson will cut it off into circles and start it out for Lone Star. Almost midway through this second period, Hoagland turnover. Here's Earhart. Earhart around a nice move, a big drive there for Duke, and that one's turned aside. Back into the corner it goes. Picked up by Hoagland, flips off the top of the glass, stays inside. Earhart takes a slash from Scanlon right in front of that as those two got tangled up. Flipped up the wall, glove down by Burnt. He'll hold it against his skate. And he battles a couple of Brahmas. Stand up into open ice for Wilson. Wilson slides it for Sikriski, who tried to center for Jasser. That one's turned aside, and it's all the way back down. Up ahead quickly, brought in over the line. Right side, McFadden. McFadden into the slot. Tried to hit Tavares. It goes off the edge of his skate and back the other way. For a moment, Tavares steals it back. Up the far wall it goes towards the blue line. He's got it back again, does Tavares. Tavares again. 3 points on a year. He got that one through the slot. Rebound. Goes through the crease, back up to the blue line, and played out again by the Bugs. Sikriski has his pocket picked at his own blue line, but he's able to get it out. Here's Roberts to the right of the circle. We'll dump it in over the blue line, and a nice defensive play there to stay on the back check. Sikriski tried to save it. Came back out. Bugs somehow stay onside. Sikriski, right circle for Gerhardt, who pushed it just wide of the net. Back of the cage again, it goes below the goal line. It's the captain, Talacro, will field it. He'll flip it up in the air. At center ice, big hit there delivered as Wolf Talby is scoring goals and knocking Brahmas down here tonight. And that one's flipped in all the way down into the corner. It goes as Adams will track it down. He'll settle it down. 9 minutes to go in the second period. Shots again, 17-7. Just one shot on goal in the second frame for the Bugs. And, well, it was a big one. Liam Wolf Talby got on the scoreboard. At the blue line, the Bugs can't clear it out. It's held in by Scanlon off the bench. Adams sends it over for Reed. He'll rifle it around the kick plate there. Wolf Talby to open ice far side. Bugs bring it in. Roberts will dump it in, head off for a change. Gabriel out behind his net to play it. Wolf Talby throwing the body around again. Reed will pinch. Lopez Corsi holds it in. Beats it for Wolf Talby, who tried to send it towards the net, but it goes off the heel of his stick, and it's flipped out to center ice. And icing is washed out as the puck barely got over the blue line as it's played for Lopez Corsi. Overskated. I think it also went off the linesman. It stayed in, and now we're going to get a call from the far side linesman who said it's offside. Thank goodness, because, well, that would have been ugly potentially for the Bugs.
Oh, you're right. It's just that puck awareness. He's got to find the puck. Sorry, Gabriel Lopez Corsi. The brain fog is getting to me. It looks like we're going to go to break here.
Yeah, this should bring us to immediate timeout under the 10-minute mark. 8:21 to go. Second period, 1-0. The lead. Bugs over the Brahmas in the second on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata and Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com.
Hey, this is Mitchell Reed, and you're listening to the Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Welker. Now let's get back to the action. Claws up.
Mudbugs Hockey is always brought to you by Coors Light, made to chill. Liam Wolf Talby, his 5th goal of the season, his 2nd goal in 2026. His first came on the first game of the new year against New Mexico, and his last goal prior to that was all the way back in October. So he's kind of picking up the scoring pace. He's got his 3rd already of the new year, 5th goal on the season. Bugs lead 1-0.
The stealth here is Gabriel Lopez Corsi going to take the face-off now. Right on the opposite side of the belt wrap of the Brahmas bench, but nonetheless.
So 1 to center for Oliver. D to D it goes, far side into the corner. Picked up by Nandor Poloni as he wraps it around the boards. Again for Wolf Talby. Tries to pitchfork it to the blue line. Oliver holds it in. And 2 bodies in front. I think that was Remy there. His 6'4" frame got a piece of the puck. It never got anywhere near the net. And the Bugs will play it up as Ryan Barrett will slap it back of the cage. Gets it back off a turnover and a big drive there. And Gabriel makes a stop as Lopez Corsi pinches towards the net. And he'll have a meeting of the minds there with Geller.
Good stuff there from Ryan Barrett to just try to get something on net and create a chance. Like I mentioned, take your shots, create your chances, and that's what Ryan Barrett did. So gotta want to see more of that if you're this Bugs team. And well, obviously they do, but you get what I mean. Of course, now as that's the 2nd shot of this period. So good stuff there so far. It seems like that line has produced all the has produced all the shots this period.
You know what? I'll take it. If you had told me an hour ago before this game started we'd have 2 shots 13 minutes into the second and have a 1-goal lead, I tell you were crazy. So,
well, I am, but no, I'm
well, you know, we both are. But nonetheless, out to center it comes. That's why we're doing this job, because only a crazy person We're talking about hockey for a living because, well, hockey players are crazy too. But we love it. It's a whole house of crazy. But John Burt below the goal line it comes. Up far side. 7:35 and rolling. Second period. 1-0 Bugs with the lead. Big drive down the slot for Willie. Turned aside. He'll paddle it down low. Below the goal line, Griner shoved off the puck there by Damphouse. Wrapped around the board to the far corner. Brahmas trying to flip it up the wall. Bugs doing a good job to pinch and hold it below the circle. They force the turnover again. Willie into the slot for Vinny. Back to Willie, and it goes just off the edge of his stick. Burnt tracks it down. Fired one for the top of the right circle. That one's turned aside as well. Case can't hold it in, so it comes out to center ice as Owen will backhand it up quickly back into the zone for Tremblay. Willie toe drag in the slot. Looks for it. Tried to feed it off to left for Griner. Poked away from him by Isaacson. Griner gets it back and fires it off of the post, and a souvenir there for almost a souvenir for a lucky fan, but it just barely stays in the Bugs bench for a whistle with 6:56 left here in period number 2.
Evan Hoagland made the glove hand save there as it went into the Bugs bench. I'll be honest, I thought Tyler Hodges made the glove save there. I don't think he's got his gloves on as he's the backup tonight. But no, it was Evan Hoagland. So good stuff from Mr. Hoagland there. Of course, the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan native.
Spoken like a true goalie there. As Hodges trying to make saves when he's not even in the lineup. I love it. It's got to stay ready, though. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So there you go. As the Brahmas control defensive end, and a hit there delivered by Hoagland to steal the puck away, and he's got it back. He shoved off the puck now, as returning the favor that time was Nasreddine. Up-handed to control through center. Across the blue line is Lucier. Drops it back. Big drive there. Never got to the net. Off the stick of Eric Alexander. On the far wall, Bugs trying to clear. They can't. Held in high slot. Drive, and Phillips easily makes a glove save in center field for out number 1 with 6:22 left to go here in the middle frame.
There you go. Out number 1 fell. Of course, now as the shots are becoming a bit more plentiful for the Bugs right now, but like I said, Ethan Phillips doing his job with 6:22 left, and yeah, well, I mean, that's all I really got to say on that effort, because what more can be said from Ethan Phillips tonight? Doing his job, and it's the most important thing as we tick down the last few minutes of this second, well, not last few minutes, but you get what I mean.
Providence College commit will go play for the Friars. Much to the delight of the Grant family, as my entire family in one way or another has a connection to Providence College. So there we go, as that one goes up into the netting and out of play. So I will say this, though, for Ethan Phillips. It's going to be a little colder where he's going than where he is right now.
No, you're right. I mean, well, it'll be colder like that all the time, not just, once or twice every so often. We saw last week, and there's a rumor there might be a little more, but hopefully that stays away from us. But
I say when I walked out today with 85 degrees, I let out a sigh of relief, because let me tell you what, I moved to Louisiana and it snows. So there we go, that's brought in. And you know what's funny, I was talking with somebody the other day, I think I might have mentioned this to you as well. The last time I was in Louisiana before moving here was 2021. I was working on a traveling golf internship. That was the last time it snowed in Louisiana. And so that's the last 2 times it snowed I've been present for. So that's my luck.
I was about to say, it seems like you just bring the snow with you everywhere you go.
And even, I would say I could go back to Florida, but it's not safe there either, because Tampa had snow and Orlando got a little bit of wintry mix. And let me tell you what, for those of you who have never lived in Orlando, we're not ready for it. You think Louisiana's not ready for it? Orlando, they see icicles, don't know what to do with it. Held in by the Brahmas. Offensive end, 5 minutes and 52 seconds to go. Second period, 1-0 Bugs with the lead. Into the corner it goes, below the goal line, wrapped around the boards by Sable. Up top, big drive there, another sprawling stop for Phillips. Gerhard will backpedal up to center ice with it. Zakriski also gets a stick on it. Sable steals it away. Back to the circle, it's picked up by O'Keefe. O'Keefe up ahead, sent it over the blue line. Remy will track it down in his own end, feeds it in front of his net. He's picked up again by Wilson, back for Remy. Pusateri up to his right, touch pass ahead for Roberts. Will negate the icing and send it all the way down. 5:20 to go, second period. Out to center ice it comes. Roberts gets a stick on it. Sable ties up the puck, but Zakriski will feed it into open ice for Grayson Gerhard, who backhands it off, and he will head off for a change. Wholesale change for the Bugs as Poloni hopped out there along with 4 new skaters, as well as Isaacson brings it into zone at the right side. He's tied up along the wall at the blue line, banked out to center. Oliver picks it back up. He slaps it in. Far side controlled by Capano. Capano back of the cage again. The Bugs will start it out of their own end. 4:47 and rolling here in the second as it's played up for Owen Case. Snaps it across and over the line is Willie. How'd that pass get to him? That was impressive there. Talacro will play it into the corner. Flipped up the wall. Case will pinch and hold it in. Owen tried to hit DiUlio down the slot, but it's stolen away. In the corner, the Bugs steal it away right out in front on the doorstep. Big drive there for Griner, who was waiting for it. He had a goal in his last game, but looking for 2 straight. Just got denied that time. Talacro will settle it down below the goal line again. Up the near side for Tavares. Tavares down the wing with speed. Into the zone. Hits the brakes at the hash marks. He lost the puck into the corner. Good back check by the Bugs there as harassed him off the puck with Mitchell Reed in the corner. 4 minutes in rolling as they've got a 5-car pile up. Now 6 in the near corner. Back up top again. Flipped off the top of the glass and up in, which is impressive to do in this building, hit the ceiling. And this is not New Mexico. There is a pretty good size for the ceiling here. It looks, for the Indianapolis people, looks like a lot like Hinkle Fieldhouse where Butler played.
Nice. I'm fairly certain the Indiana people, includes my mother, as well as your family. We'll love that. We'll love that reference. No, I mean, you're right. There is a sizable difference of ice to ceiling ratio. I mean, still short, but not too short like New Mexico.
Here we go, and over the line. Knocked off the puck is Jonah Jasser. The roof or ice to ceiling ratio looks like a wedding cake out there. It's brought in far side. Tavares will skate after it. At the blue line will turn and burn and fire it into the corner. Picked up far side again by Lucier. Lucier will turn and change direction. Fire it off the side of that. Picked up by Mitchell Reed. He gives it away right in the slotted Scanlon. He'll cycle it back up to the blue line. Big drive through traffic. Paddle stopped there by Phillips. Rebound comes out in front. Scanlon racing out to get it. Big drive there on a one-time by 21 in black. That's Peterson wrapped around the board's far side. Picked up again by Adams. Flipped up the near side wall off the edge of Earhart's stick. He'll track it down with Scanlon on his back. Scanlon forces a turnover right in front. Renton Sinkway pushed it just wide. And another survival by the Bugs. And that'll be an icing whistle with 3:01, but they stop the bleeding for now. What a stop. He robs Vincent Sinkway yet again.
Good stop there from Ethan Phillips. I meant stuff, but stop too. Gosh, it's amazing stuff there from Ethan Phillips. And, well, I say to no credit of their own, but to their own credit, the Bucs defensive unit able to help Phillips get it down, especially for that icing brought to you by our friends at Louder's Baking Company. But no, it was a necessary icing to say the least. And with 3:01 here, just got to find a way to either get on down there to Leo Gabriel or preserve this lead as much as you can and as hard as you can.
Oliver holds it in. Right point. Fires. Tipped. And a great stop by Phillips. And then get mixed up after the play with Sable. It looks like we're going to get another penalty upcoming on the Bugs. And now we've got away from that. Mitchell Reed will hop in there. And he's become a fan favorite. We saw him on KTBS talking about his huge fight with Aiden Connell last night. And we'll see if there are any penalties. I thought the referee pointed to the box, but it looks like we're not going to get one. So that'll stop time with 2:57. And Duncan, that last stop at those drums were playing brought me back to my Disney days working in Africa. So there you go. Had flashbacks. Whether they're good or not, well, I'll let the viewers fill in the lines there.
Honestly, you know what? I think hockey as a whole, whatever level, from the juniors all the way to pros, I think they need more drum lines. I think we need more drum lines everywhere. But that's just one band nerd's opinion.
That is the soccer fan in you.
Oh, yeah. That too.
Out to center it comes. Good battle for it there with Oliver and Lopez Corsi. It's eventually played for Barrett. Into the corner, shoved off the puck by O'Keefe. Tries to change direction. Somehow being pinned against the wall. Gets it for Remy. Up top for Burton, who rifles one, and that's a big stop. John Byrne, he's been a big factor in this Bugs offense. 27 points, 11 goals, 16 assists, and he had another point against New Mexico on Saturday. An assist that followed up his 4-point weekend against El Paso.
It's good stuff to see from Johnny Byrne, and the many times I've talked to him, he definitely wants to try to emulate a style similar to an offensive defenseman. And you know what? You can never have too many of that. And so that's good stuff there as the faceoff will go to the left-hand side of Leo Gabriel. Leo Gabriel. And Gabriel Lopez Corsi will take the faceoff for the Bugs.
From a knee, he sent it back up top. Big drive there, wide of the net. Picked up again on the near boards. Pinching and holding it in with Pusateri. Wraps it around the board's far side. Osh had to stick that time of Talacro up to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Held in by the Bugs. Force the turnover in the slot. Big drive there. Whistles up over top of the net for Barrett, and out of play. Draws the stoppage with 2:21. So the shots are starting to pile up for the Brahmas. They lead 21-11, but the Bugs have started to get that offense kind of moving their feet out there after a slow start to begin the middle frame.
Oh, it's good stuff there. And, of course, Ryan Barrett able to be in the slot, like right in the middle, try to get it right past Leo Gabriel, but, of course, it just goes up into the netting. The unfortunate netting in hockey, but we want the fortunate netting. Of course, that's right behind Leo Gabriel.
And the corner goes, wrapped around the boards, sent back to the near side, flipped up to center. Poloni knocked off the puck by Geller. Up ahead, the Brahmas will turn it into the slot, but Julio gets a piece of it. He turns it over at the blue line. He provides a screen, and Greiner will flip it out to center ice. 2 minutes to go in the second period. What's amazing, Duncan, at the next break, we'll talk about it a little bit more, but that's going to be an offside, so there'll be a quick break here. But if you would have told me again, we have one penalty with 1:57, and I'm sure I'm jinxing it. Something will happen in the next 30 seconds probably. But with 1:57 left in the second, one penalty in a Bugs-Brahmas game.
I'll have to check my records, but no, that's almost unheard of. I gotta say almost, because once again, I'll have to check my records on that, but I get the feeling it'll amp up, not only tonight, but definitely tomorrow.
Got to be a record. As it's brought in, Owen Case got a stick on it, but the Brahmas hold on to it offensive end. Up the wall it comes. Bugs lead 1-0, minute 45. Big chance in front. Bounces up top to the blue line. It's Peterson again. Slides it across to the far point. Into the corner. Big battle for it. Bugs will get it as Owen Case sends a man down away from the play. In front of the family, here's Jasser down the slot. Goes backhand shot, and he scores. And the Bugs double it up. It's 2-0 as Jonah Jasser on the breakaway. Gets his 9th of the year, and it's 2-0 with 1:29 to go in the second.
Backhanded effort, Jonah Jasser right past Leo Gabriel. You love to see it. As with 1:29, Bugs get that 2-0 lead. It looks like it'll be Jonah Jasser from Duke, Earhart, and number 17, Nandor Polonier. So good stuff there as the off-ice officials table over to our right fills us in on how that went down. But as I mentioned, Jonah Jasser backhanded effort. Love to see it.
Jonah Jasser gets a big goal, his first since El Paso, and it's 2-0. And again, you know, if you're watching at home on NATV, you probably aren't going to pick up because you probably don't see it as Wolf Tobby will dump it in. But Owen Case sending that man down away from the play broke that skating lane open for Jasser. That was a huge defensive play. You know his family is loving that, watching Owen Case play tonight. As here's Venton Sinque in the slot, turned aside. Played back up top for Scanlon. Back down for Christian in the corner. He's rubbed off the puck. Scanlon gets it back below the goal line, cycles it back to the blue line. Feeds it for Oliver. Oliver fired one through traffic. Tried to hit the doorstep feed. Rebound turned aside. Shot there towards the net is broken up off the stick of Jackson Bates. Oliver holds it in. 53 seconds to go. Second period rebound. Turned aside to the wall. Back up to the blue line, but not out. Christian holds it in. Centering feed. Big one-time blast for Oliver. Rebound comes through the skates of Wilson. Wolf Tallby feeds it to the wall. He takes the check. Picked back up. Tied up along the near wall. Bugs trying to clear it out. They can't quite yet. 35 seconds to go. Now they get it out to center ice. Tracked down by Oliver. He'll rifle it in. The Let's Go Brahmas chance start here at the NITEC Sports Center. In the corner, it's flipped up the wall for Wolf Tallby. Got knocked off the puck by Bates. He will gingerly wrap it around the board. Up top for Vincent Sinque, who sends one that's turned aside by Phillips. A rebound comes out for John Burt, who from a knee will slap it out to center with 14 seconds to go. Going to stop one last rush. Damphouse, nice move. Into the slot. Big drive. That time is pushed wide. Flipped up in the air, and a big hit delivered by Willie. Comes near side. 3 seconds to go. Just got to poke it out to center. They do, and they clear off. After a big barrage again from the Brahmas, the Bugs survive. And after 2 minutes, it's a 2-goal or 20 minutes rather in this period. It's a 2-goal second period. Wolf Tallby and Jonah Jasser. It's a big middle frame for the Bugs.
Absolutely big second period right here as the Bucks come down back into the locker room below us. Of course, they go down and then out down to the tunnel. But now it's one of those things that you love to see from this Bugs team, who at times have struggled to find the back of the net, if nothing else. But as the youth get on chanting here, but now I think nonetheless this Bugs team is doing a good job, especially tonight against this Lone Star Brahmas team. course, as we mentioned, Liam Oltalby getting the first goal back at 17:01, and then Jonah Jasser here a few minutes ago. But as the coaching staff makes their way out of the ice, out into the locker room. I lost my wording there as physical coach Brett Smith goes down through there, and of course, gingerly, my dad, Billy T. Welker, will make the pace down below us, and Jason Soupy Campbell, of course, if you're watching on NATV, if they're actually, yeah, they are showing that angle. I'm able to catch a replay out of the corner of my eye on the TVs up there in the luxury suites, excuse me, as they're making their way down through the tunnel. So, Zach, second period intermission starts right now. Bugs 2-0, and brother, this third period's just only going to get amped up. I mentioned it last period. We're going to see a lot more amped up. I think we're going to even see that amp turned up to 11 plus 1. I'm kidding, the 11 plus 11, but you get the idea.
The Shreveport Mudbugs hockey brought to you by our friends at Johnny's Pizza House. Let's share a slice of the best pizza in town. Bugs up by 2-0 as we head into the second intermission. Stay with us right here from North Richland Hills. It's Bugs and Brahmas, Bugs on top after 2 on the Mudbugs Broadcast Network.
Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com. Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker. Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty or flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meats in the Stonewall, Louisiana area, and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home Meats, the perfect old school smoke flavored sausage, and doing old school sausage the way it was meant to be. Fireplace Specialties is a proud corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs hockey. Fireplace gas logs, glass doors, wood stoves, mantlles, and grills. They've got it all. They're located at 8500 Box Road in Shreveport or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Once again, that's fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties is your fireplace headquarters.
This is Mitchell Reed, and you're listening to the Shreveport Mudbugs hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
This Mudbugs second intermission report is driven to you by Sonic Drive-In. This is how we Sonic. Well, a big second period for the Bugs. Wolf Talby, Jonah Jasser, the goal scorers. 2-0 Shreveport with the lead over the Lone Star Brahmas as they look to take the lead in the season series, which to this point is tied up at 2-2. Want to say hi to Paul Carrick watching back home, and he says he can't wait for the Bugs to be back at home, and neither can we. And the good news is it is this month that the Bugs will be back at home, February 20th and 21st against the Odessa Jackalopes. And then not only are we going to be at home for 1 week, we're going to add 2 more after that, and including that following weekend against Corpus Christi, Friday, Saturday, and then these Lone Star Brahmas will come in town on Sunday. So a 3-game weekend for you. Get your tickets as always by logging on to tickets.georgespond34.com, or you can ask about our group rates for 10 or more. For tickets, $10 each. 318-636-7094. Talk to Sabrina. She'll get you all taken care of back in Shreveport. And big second period. Duncan, as I mentioned, the 2 goals for the Bugs. Wolf Talby, Jonah Jasser gives them the 2-goal advantage after 2.
You're all good, brother. Wolfie and Jasser are able to get the Bugs on the board here in this second period. Of course, Wolfie's goal coming from Gabriel Lopez Corsi and Ryan Barrett, and then Jasser's coming from Duke Earhart and Nandor Bologna. So good stuff on that. Of course, what I find most interesting here is on NAHL.com. Of course, the website for the league and a way to follow live stats. I'm a big live stat guy sometimes. They got Jeremiah Roberts in the box, and it might just be an error here on the website, but as a Lone Star player, also for roughing a 1403, but of course that penalty was Jeremiah Roberts.
I was going to say, if that's right, that means we got chipped to 4-on-4. That's what that means.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, that's, well, we'll take it. Nonetheless, that was an unsuccessful power play for the Brahmas. The Bugs had held off their top power play unit. As we look going into the third period, one penalty thus far in the game. The Bugs need to continue that and stay out of the box because you do not want a penalty kill with a 2-goal lead.
Oh, absolutely. And right up here in the booth, I'm knocking on all the wood because I'm trying to reverse the announcer's jinx, and I'm doing it for myself. But no, definitely want to stay out of the box. And more importantly, if you can get Lone Star into the box and get on that Scott Powerline power play, that's the most important thing on the special team side of things. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And one thing I not failed to mention, but forgot to mention rather, the goaltending effort. Ethan Phillips stopping 24 of 24 through 2 periods. And, of course, on the other end, Leo Gabriel, no slouch, stopping 10 of 12. So good stuff from him. But, no, Ethan Phillips, after not playing for, remind me, almost a month now?
Last game was number 2 against Corpus Christi, so that was the 10th of January. So 4 days shy of a month, yeah.
No, so almost a month. And, well, it's funny. On Friday night of last week, I mentioned the rest did the Bugs good, as they won 6-4. But, that also can apply to players. But I don't know about a month-long rest. But
no, a month's a long, long time. But
you never know.
Especially since it's a real month, unlike February with its 28 days. It thinks it's a month, but that is, I'll tell you what, January needs to be shortened to 28 days because every single January takes about 364 years to finish. And this January was no exception.
Oh, I honestly think that this January it felt longer. I don't know what it was, but yeah, that's where I think of that. And now, but of course, leap years, those are always fun. But yeah.
Absolutely. So the Bugs with a 2-goal lead after 2 will take a timeout. On the other side, we'll hear for our second intermission interview on the Mudbugs Broadcast Network.
Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defatapi.com. Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker. Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty or flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meats in the Stonewall, Louisiana area and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home Meats, the perfect old school smoke flavored sausage and doing old school sausage the way it was meant to be. Welcome back to the Sonic Drive-In Second Intermission Show, delivered to you by our friends at the Sonic Drive-In. Sonic Drive-In, this is Highway Sonic. Now joining me is Mudbugs defenseman number 3, Evan Adams. Evan, welcome in. Third time's the charm.
Thanks for having me, Donks.
Of course, Evan, the only reason, well, not the only reason, there's actually multiple reasons I brought you in here. One, because I think you're a good chap, and I think all the fans back at home like to hear from you. But also, it was announced last night amongst the Mudbugs roster that Evan Adams, the newest assistant captain of your Shreveport Mudbugs. So, Evan, with that in mind, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. I mean, it's an honor to, get named as one of the assistant captains in this organization. It's a big deal, so it's pretty good.
Of course, some of the assistant captains that come to mind, Forbes McPherson and Dan Walfong, actually, the current head coach of the Lone Star Brahmas. And speaking of this Lone Star team, we come into the North Richland Hills, Texas. I said the North Richland Hills, Texas. We're not Ohio State. We come into the NITEC Sports Center here in North Richland Hills, Texas, against these aforementioned Lone Star Brahmas. Not the first time we've seen them. Of course, we saw them here at the NITEC Sports Center back in November. Got the weekend sweep on that one, and then, of course, we saw them at the Georgia Spot inside Hirsch Coliseum, and they got the weekend sweep on us. So now it's, well, I say the rubber matchup, but we got 2 more games against them. But with that in mind, Evan, what's the scouting like of this Lone Star team that makes them maybe a little different than the last 2 times we've seen them?
I mean, I think honestly they're pretty similar. I mean, they're a really good team, and we just got to play our game and, you know, come in and try our best to take 2 for one this weekend, or 4 points. I mean,
yeah, nothing wrong with possibly a nice weekend sweepstake. If you know, you know. But moving along, Evan. So, like I mentioned. And of course, joining us here on the interview was Duke Gerhard. Speaking of which, Duke, I talked to your buddy Evan Hoagland back in the first, and he's got the sweatshirt. It looks good. And of course, over here to my right, Jeremiah Robertson.
Shout out my mom. She got me that sweatshirt.
Of course, the sweatshirt both he and I are referring to is the Boston Bruins. How do I put this nicely? Meth bear, but we'll get back to that. Some other time, some other place. Evan, it's all about you. Sorry about that. That's the beauty of interviews. But anyways, so Evan, like I mentioned, coming here to the NITEC Sports Center. You've played here a bunch, obviously. And
yeah.
Is this your favorite South Division team to play against, or do you have somebody else in mind?
I mean, they're one of my favorites. I like playing against most of the teams. But I mean, it's pretty cool to come to Dallas. Dallas is a cool city in Fort Worth area, so it's pretty fun to be here, and they're a good team, so it's fun to play against the best of the best.
Of course, and you mentioned best of the best. First place team sitting at 59 points on the year so far. But something else I want to mention. You mentioned want to play that style, and one of the styles that obviously is a necessary evil, and I say necessary evil, is the penalty kill. Of course, we saw a lot of the penalty kill last weekend in New Mexico, where we took the weekend split. With that in mind, what was the word coming out of the dressing room after that Saturday night loss?
I mean, we just got to get better this week and come to play and try and take 2 games again from Lone Star.
Yeah. All right, so Evan, moving along here, I'm just going to move into the U side, Evan. So, firstly, what's going on in the world of Evan Adams outside of hockey?
Nothing much. Just hanging out with my billet bros, Grayson and Griner. You know, having a good time back there. But that's pretty much it.
Good. And billet-wise?
Billet-wise, I also hang out with Rebecca and Keith. You know, they're pretty cool people. It's always fun to hang out with them.
Oh yeah. And how's the family? The blood, you know, the family.
Yeah, they're good. You know, my mom wanted to come down for the weekend against Lone Star a couple of weeks ago. They got canceled. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, you mentioned that, and I was looking forward to those Mardi Gras jerseys. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking forward to them too. I mean, they looked pretty sweet. So they did a good job designing them.
Yeah. And I was actually going to ask you, and I think I asked you off to the side, maybe not. I'm not 100% certain. My brain doesn't work as it used to as much. What do you think about the inner designs of it, like the fleur-de-lis and all the things like that?
Oh, they're awesome. It's super cool. I think it's a really cool thing they added to those jerseys this year compared to the past Mardi Gras jerseys.
Yeah. So, of course, you will get the opportunity. Excuse me, words are fun. You will get the opportunity to wear those jerseys March 6th and 7th. I'm looking forward to that game.
Yeah, me too.
But as for tonight, what's the personal game plan look like for you, Mr. Evan Adams?
I mean, I'm just gonna try and play my game. You know, play the best of my ability, and you know, try and help guys around me to play the best of theirs.
All right. Well, Evan Adams, Mr. Assistant Captain. Thank you for joining us here on the Sonic Drive-In Second Intermission Show.
Yeah, thanks for having me down.
Of course. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with more here on the Sonic Drive-In Second Intermission Show. You're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network. We'll be back in a moment. Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata and Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata and Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defatapi.com. Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker. Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty and flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meats in the Stonewall, Louisiana area and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home Meats, the perfect old school smoke flavored sausage and doing old school sausage the way it was meant to be.
For those that have fallen, I say get up. For those that are asleep, I say wake up. For those that are seated, I say rise. It is time. The world needs what we possess. The only hope for a dark world is the light of Jesus Christ. Let your light so shine.
Thank you for tuning in to this Word of God Ministries message.
Hey, this is Tyler Hodges, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Welker. Now let's get back to the action.
Liam Wolf-Talby, Jonah Chasser, the goal scorers for the Bugs. They have a 2-goal advantage heading into the third and final frame as the second intermission show driven by Sonic Drive-In. This is how we Sonic continues on here on this Friday night from North Richland Hills. A couple other games and actions. We take a look at our out-of-town scoreboard. A couple games in the NAHL South Division. Amarillo on top of Oklahoma 3-0. You know, it's an interesting series the way the schedule worked out because they played in Amarillo last weekend, and now they're on the flip side. They're in Oklahoma City. But with a weekend split last weekend, Amarillo currently leads 3-1 after a second goal, 2 period. They are being outshot by Oklahoma 33-25, but they have the lead with 2 minutes to go in the game. Over at Corpus Christi, the Ice Rays hosting the New Mexico Ice Wolves. They're tied up at 1, a goal in the first for Corpus Christi, a goal in the second for New Mexico. The Ice Wolves out shooting Corpus 23-21. That's a very important game as the Ice Wolves currently now sit in third after their weekend split because El Paso jumped them into second place, and Corpus Christi is about 6 points back of New Mexico. So things are really starting to heat up in those standings in the South, every game becoming all the more crucial. One other game besides this one in the South, El Paso is in Odessa, taking on the Jackalopes after their big sweep of Lone Star last weekend, and El Paso trying to hold on to that second place spot and catch the Brahmas. They're a couple of points back. They lead 2-1 after a goal in the second, a goal in the third, that one with about 7 minutes to go in the third and final frame. We'll take one final timeout on the Sonic Drive-In intermission report. The third period comes your way next from Dallas. The Bugs lead 2-0 over the Brahmas on the Mudbugs Broadcast Network.
Fireplace Specialties is a proud corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey. Fireplace gas logs, glass doors, wood stoves, mantlets, and grills. They've got it all. They're located at 8500 Box Road in Shreveport or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Once again, that's fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties is your fireplace headquarters. Hey, Mudbug fans, if you're looking for the perfect spot for a birthday party, corporate event, school trip, or any other private outing, just call us at George's Pond here at Hirsch Coliseum at 318-636-7094 to book your event today. Once again, that's 318-636-7094 here at George's Pond inside Hirsch Coliseum. Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defatapi.com.
Hey, this is Tyler Hodges, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Welker. Now let's get back to the action.
Alrighty, back here at the NITEC Sports Center, home of the Lone Star Brahmas on this Friday night. Bugs hold the 2-0 advantage, trying to take the lead in the series after the Bugs swept the Brahmas in this building back in November. Brahmas swept the Bugs at home at George's Pond in December, and now these two teams again will match up this weekend, meeting 5 and 6. 7 and 8 going to have to wait a little bit longer. They'll be at home March 1st, Sunday. That's a Sunday matinee, 5 p.m. game. Lone Star will play Oklahoma the night before on Sunday. The Bugs will be at home against Corpus Christi, and then they'll take on the Brahmas on that Sunday. And then a couple of weeks later, a Tuesday night game on the 17th of March, a 7-11 puck drop at George's Pond. Get your ticket today at tickets.georgespond34.com. And, of course, if you've got groups of 10 or more, you can call the front office, 318-636-7094 for $10 a ticket for groups of 10 or more. Divided this third period, powered by Delta Utilities. Know what's below. Call 811 to locate buried utilities at least 2 days before digging any projects. Here we go, third period about set to go from North Richland Hills, just outside of Dallas, Texas here. A good crowd on hand, a lot of Mudbug fans making a trip from Shreveport. Always love to see that, and thanks everybody for watching back at home with us tonight. Here we go, third period action is underway as the Bugs look to hold on to that 2-goal advantage and take a win in this Friday matchup. Jonah Jasser and Wolf Tall be the goal scorers for the Bugs as it's brought in quickly by the Brahmas. They're out shooting the Bugs 24-12 at this point, but Shreveport controls the puck. Defensive end rather. It's Jasser who fires it in and goes off for a change for the blue line. Rifles off the board. Picked up back of the cage by Alexander Oliver. He starts the breakout far side for Lone Star. Up at center ice, it's sent near side. Quickly, big drive for McFadden. He lifted it up over top the net. Needed the 9-iron. He took the pitching wedge and just lofted it over. Hoagland spun off the puck at the blue line. Goes down to an E and tries to poke it into the corner. Eventually comes back out to center for Reed to pick it up. Just one penalty in this hockey game. It was a roughing penalty to Jeremiah Roberts early in the second. That's been it, which is incredible to say in a Bugs-Brahmas matchup. 2-0 to score. Minute into the third period. Bugs on top. Brought in quickly. In over the line. Left side. Nice move. Backhand shot. Phillips stays with it and paddles it aside. Picked up by Evan Adams, a Clarkston, Michigan native. 2 goals, 9 assists, 11 points on the year for him. His second Bug season. He's one of 5 players to be a second-year Bug. And Sakrisky will play it out for Grayson Gerhard. He was acquired from Corpus Christi at the beginning of the year, and man, has he made an impact since joining the Bugs. 6 goals, 14 assists, 20 points. He had 14 points at Corpus Christi as well. At center ice, back and forth it goes. 18-25 and rolling here in the third period. Isaacson will dump it into the corner for Talakra, the captain. Owen Case shoves him off the puck in the corner. Ties him up, and it's played forward out to center by Burnt. Backhanded at the blue line. Back for John Burnt. Burnt up the far side, poked away. Bounces free to Owen Case, short of the goal line. Now rifled in from center. Into the right corner it goes. Tremblay spun off the puck. He somehow got it back, though. Back of the cage is picked up by Venton Sequay. He'll pass it up the far side for Jackson Bates. Bates up at the blue line will dump it in, and the Bugs are going to have a 3-player advantage in manpower there. But now a giveaway right in front. Phillips will put the blocker down and just let the puck trickle to it, and he'll paddle to the side of the blue line, but not out of the zone. Barnt gets it back, flips it off the glass, stays in somehow. Now it's played by Willie, who takes a check as he dumps it up ahead. Corralled by Eric Alexander, his own blue line. Squeeze around the back check, heads behind the net. Flips it up as the Brahmans will play it at center. Off the edge of the stick of Bates, he'll track it down, but Zach Wilson will fire it around the board. At the kick plate, fed it to the middle, but it's broken up again. Far side, Scanlon has it near side now. Into the corner it goes, back of the cage, below the goal line. Nice screen there, gets Remy to poke it up the wall to the blue line and just barely over the line out to center as Barrett will play it to the middle. Picked up for Zach Wilson, and he dodges the check as he fires it down length to the ice. 17 minutes to go, third period. 3 minutes into this third and hopefully final frame as the Bugs hold a 2-goal advantage, 2-0, despite being outshot 25-12 here so far on this Friday night. Brought in, here comes Scanlon. Feeds off to the left for Sable, over the blue line. Sable down the bottom of the circle, trying to hit Scanlon again, coming down the slot, but it's poked away. Sable feeds it back up top. O'Keefe holds it in the blue line. Into the corner it goes. Takes a weird hop in the corner for Murray. Murray around the net, centering feed. Scanlon slides it back up top. Big drive, push slide, and tracked down again by Murray. Cycles to the blue line. O'Keefe, bottom of the left circle. O'Keefe sends it towards the net, and Phillips will wisely jump on top of it as Remy gets tied up there with Fenton Cinque in front of the net, and they will be separated as the linesman step in, draws a whistle. 16:33 left in this third period. Bugs lead 2-0. I'd like to remind you that Mudbugs hockey, as always, brought to you by our friends at Fireplace Specialties. Fireplaces, gas logs, glass doors, wood stoves, mantles, and grills, they've got it all. Located at 8500 Box Road in Shreveport or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties, your fireplace headquarters. 16:23 left in period number 3. Off the draw, defensive end, the Bugs will control. To Adams below the goal line, feeds it across Fernando Poloni, and flip it up the wall for Erhardt gets a touch on it, so that will wash the icing out as it goes all the way down. Liam O'Keefe tied up along the boards by Jasser. Flipped up as the Brahmas start to break out right to left. Up the near wing, in over the line. Lucier tried to get it back, and then a big shot on net, and now Adams is going to skate over, and Jasser's going to knock a man down along the boards there. Everything kind of boiling over here. A late whistle for offside for the linesman. That's going to draw the stoppage here, and then a shot after the late whistle is going to start everything here. 4 minutes into the third.
Oh, big hit there from Joe to Jasser, right on the Tavares right there as the whistle was blown. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you love to see teammates standing up for especially their goalie. The face-off looked like it's going to come out right in front of the Bucks bench, but man, that was, and now it looks like we're set.
That was a really late change here by the Bugs, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't quite tell what exactly was going on, but it looks like everybody's from the Bugs side of things getting brought back on as the face-off now goes in front of the Bugs bench.
Just about 4 minutes in, period number 3. They wait for everybody to get back on the bench. Tremblay will swing his legs over the door. And Hoagland to take the draw. Line up across from Nathan Murray there. And Murray, compared to Hoagland there, is about the size of a pomegranate. It's brought in by Damphouse. In over the line, left side. As Yeller got knocked down, crowd wants a penalty. Only been one in this game, so it's unlikely you're going to get one now on anything that's not a player safety foul. Big drive there for the blue line, Serta's side. Far wall it comes, back up towards the blue line, picked up by the Bugs. And here he comes, brought in near side for Jasser. Knocked off the puck, and he got a shot on it. And Erhardt comes in towards net, and Talacro is going to grab Erhardt away from the play. And everything's starting to mix up now. Again, we've mentioned one penalty in the whole game, and things are starting to boil over. It's Mitchell Reed and Owen Case, the deep pair, just stand next to each other at the blue line, saying we don't want a part of that. We'll let you guys work that out. So that'll drop a whistle with 15:38 left in the third. Things are getting a little testy down there, but between the Bugs and the Brahmas. And when you're playing with the Bugs and the Brahmas, it's only a matter of time until things get kind of wild out there. Two teams will be back in action tomorrow night as well. 7:30 p.m. Central puck drop. We'll have that for you on NATV as always. And, of course, right here on the Mudbugs Audio Network on YouTube. Want to say hi to everybody watching back at home. Hopefully we'll be home playing in front of you here in a few weeks. February 20th and 21st against the Odessa Jackalopes. God and Goals night, presented by Word of God. And then on Saturday, it's Paws and Claws night back at George's Pond. It's been dormant for the last couple of weeks here as Gerhardt at center fights for it to get it to the blue line. Brahmas will play in their own end all the way down. Icing is washed out. Isaacson's going to be in a full race with Reed. Isaacson goes for the body. Reed goes for the puck, and he flips it up the far wall. Sakrisky tied up along the boards. Just about 5 minutes into the third as the Let's Go Brahmas chant start here in the shoebox. Flipped up to center. Sakrisky's got it. Tries to dodge a check. It's knocked away. Doesn't go down, though. He stays on his feet. Now it's rifled off the boards by Owen Case. Back of the net, it's played by Leo Gabriel. Gabriel slides it across the kick plate. Up the near wall for Isaacson. Feeds it to the middle. At his own blue line, back for Isaacson to left of the center circle. In over the line for Capano. Back for Isaacson to the bottom of the left circle. He lost the puck. Owen Case comes out of the 5-car pileup with it. Works off to his far side. Tries to flip it up the wall for Roberts. It's poked away, though, with it held in by Venton Cinque before it's eventually turned back the other way as it's played by Jeremiah Roberts, who dumps it in, avoids the check, and he'll go off for a change from center. 14:28 left to go, third period. Bugs with the 2-0 lead. It's Wolf Talby and Jasser, the goal scorers thus far, as the Brahmas will settle it down back of their own net. They'll slide it D-to-D below the goal line to the far side. Outlet pass, and this is going to be icing washed out. Venton Cinque is going to win the foot race by a few steps. Bates fires one. That's blocker to side. Goes off the body in front. That was John Burnt providing some screening action. Up to the blue line, O'Keefe snaps it across. Wide of the reach of Oliver, and Oliver will dump it into the corner. Sent towards the net, back of the cage again. Bates picks it back up. The tall forward leaves it off for Scanlon, who takes a check from Remy, and the puck squirts right to Phillips, and Scanlon and Remy are going to mix it up, and they'll grab a hold of each other, and the linesman quickly will skate in for a whistle with 13:52 left in the third period. Bugs trying to come away with a weekend series lead here on this Friday night.
And one of the things I saw there as the puck got covered up by Ethan Phillips there, notice when Scanlon grabbed Remy Pusateri, he didn't shake him as bad as Hubbard from New Mexico did the other two. I believe it was Johnny Burton and Chase Christie, but notice when Remy got involved in that little scrum down there with him, excuse me, he just kind of like had a blank stare on his face. I love it.
Yeah, Scanlon going into uncharted waters there. He's 6'1", Remy at 6'4". Of course, Remy, as we all know, is a gentle giant just like me, so things might have been interesting there, but nonetheless, it's brought in quickly by McFadden. McFadden gets tripped up, and we're going to get just a second penalty of the game here. And unlike we saw in the NHL a few nights ago at the outdoor game, the Stadium Series, the ref blows the whistle at the proper time. That's
A little sour grapes there as Zach
no,
Wilson.
he blew the whistle at the wrong time.
No, I
There's
know.
no sour grapes about it, but so Wilson will sit, and power play for the Brahmas. This is a big power play for them.
It is, but it is more importantly first choice personnel penalty kill for your Mudbugs. And of course, we have the Brahma fans to our left and some to our right giving Zach Wilson the business. Of course, there's not 15 yards for giving him the business. If you know that viral clip from back in the day of the referee, but nonetheless, the Bugs win the faceoff.
That one's cleared down. That was the late, great Ben Dreith, passed away last year, the longtime NFL official. And that's, as a referee myself, that is one of my favorite clips ever. But he was the original. There were a few imposters after that, but Ben Dreith, yeah, was great because he included the punch down, which is the best part, as Lexo will bring it in far side, just barely onside, flip towards the net, goes behind the cage. 13 minutes to go, third period. Bugs up by 2. Minute 29 on the kill. Brahmas will center it back up top for Isaacson, left point. Snaps it back, far point. Up top of the slots. Again, control. Centering feed there, high slot for Nazardine. Back for Isaacson, left side. Brahma's not taking a shot quite yet. Down to the bottom of the circle. And Adams will knock Capano off the puck in the corner. Then it's corralled by the Bugs for a moment, trying to clear the puck out. Adams has it. Slid back up top. Nazardine feeds it off to the right. Big drive there. Blockered away in front. Never even got to the hash marks. Clearing attempt does not go. Here's Isaacson, left circle. Feeds it back off to his right for Tavares. Tavares back for Isaacson. Left circle, down towards the bottom of the circle. Tried to feed it to Capano. He couldn't corral it cleanly. Back of the net, he plays it. 45 seconds left. Not a single shot yet for Lone Star. Back up top, the Brahmas have it. Towing the line, it's back for Isaacson, left point. Isaacson feeds it back up top, Tavares. Tavares, Nazardine, one-time drive, and that one is up and out of play for a whistle with 33 seconds left on the kill. It's an interesting choice for the Brahmas there on the power play, down by 2. And they've taken one shot in almost a minute and a half.
Oh, yeah, no, they're not. They were able to get one shot away with that one shot going into the netting. And actually went, fun fact, it actually went like just to the tippity top of, or actually tippity bottom of the net, I should say. Tippity bottom, that doesn't make sense. But you get what I mean, though. And as you mentioned, they've only taken one shot as Brahma fans around us are like, shoot, 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 which, as we all know, works so well in hockey.
Here's Damphouse, centering feed to Vincent Cinque. He missed it, but it goes back up top for Scanlon. Scanlon, center point, blue line for Oliver, knocked out of the zone. Nice play there by Vinny on the back check. Will clear it all the way down, and Damphouse track it down back in his own circles. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Up the middle of the ice, across the center logo, it's Oliver. Feeds it forward, and Remy steals it away and will lob it all the way back down. Gabriel back of his net to play it. Waiting for the strength numbers, but then Wilkins coming out of the box as they turn it over. Vinny tied up along the near wall. 5-car pile up as Wolf Talby comes in for some help. Eventually played out by the Brahmas. Up ahead through the middle logo again. Nice move into the slot. McFadden stolen away for Scanlon. Scanlon tried to fire it, but getting a piece of it was Barrett. Barrett on the speed. Far side, Wolf Talby in over the line, left side. Drops it off for Barrett. Barrett fires one. That goes off the glass and wraps all the way around the board to the blue line. And the Bugs choose to play it out to center, just like 3-on-3 overtime, as Burnt will change direction at the blue line. Up the near wing for Barrett. He'll just kind of lob it around the board there. 10:57, third period. Bugs by 2. After a successful kill, 2 for 2 on the penalty kill today. Played up ahead, around a defender. Into the corner it goes for Mitchell Reed, tied up along the board. Adams changes direction, feeds it back for Burnt. Now Grayson's got it. Far point, back for Adams. Takes a weird hop, and Phillips almost gave away right there. Big stop for him. That was reminiscent of Lone Star's goal to give him the victory on the Saturday in Shreveport. Taking a weird hop off the board. This one goes all the way down. Foot race for it. Grayson trying to win the foot race. And he is beat to the puck, but still gets a shot on. Unless that was the Brahma who just sent it at his own goaltender. But nonetheless, a good chance for the Bugs. Back the other way quickly. Brought in over by Nazradine. At the circles, he'll dump it around the board. Nandor picks it up far side. Tries to wrap it around the far side boards. Capano off the bench. Holds it in back up top. Nazradine, he fired one. And a big stop in front for Remy. Possible numbered. Up for Pusateri. Far circle. Drives one. That one's turned aside. Back up the wall to the blue line. Brahma's play it out. Almost too many men there as it almost hit the guy coming off the bench. And then Gerhard tries to clear it into the zone. But it goes out of play for a whistle with 9:54. Bugs are still being doubled up shot-wise.
Oh, yeah. And honestly, it's about 15 as we get ready to go on a break. So I'll leave my thoughts for when we come back to break on the Bugs offensive rush. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey here on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Hey Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com.
Hey, this is Mitchell Reed, and you're listening to the Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Welker. Now let's get back to the action. Claws up.
Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey is brought to you as always by our friends at Coors Light. Made to chill. Also, I'd like to remind you that Porter's Industrial has been delivering the difference for Mudbugs Hockey. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, providing floor mats, uniforms, and facility services for your company. 9:54 to go, third period. Bugs up by 2. Brahmas trying to get back in the game. They're putting a barrage right now on Ethan Phillips in this third period.
But this Mudbugs team is not doing too shabby themselves as the Bugs win the faceoff. But they're able to have offensive numbers in on Leo Gabriel, and the thing is when you have offensive numbers, like you just gotta go. Which, speaking of which, I'm gonna turn around back over to you.
At center ice, delayed call upcoming on the Bugs. Elbowing the call, and elbowing's always a weak call at this point in the game, but now Hoagland's going to sit. Third straight penalty on the Bugs. This is starting to look like the Stadium Series game. 7 straight against the Bruins, now 3 straight against the Bugs.
Again, I'm going to say it. I'm kidding. Trust me. I've seen fair share of my Penguins get but nonetheless, as Evan Hoagland goes into the box there. So right now Bugs just got to kill off another penalty on this first choice personnel penalty kill. So as the faceoff goes to the right-hand side of Ethan Phillips, and we'll just see where we lay after these 2 minutes. Personally, I'd like a nice penalty kill here once again, but hey, we'll find out.
Now they're going to throw the Sable out again from the faceoff. Hoagland in his rookie Mudbug season. He's appeared in every game thus far, and he leads the team in in points. He leads the team in goals. He's second on the team in game-winning goals. So not a guy you want sitting. And now Vates, who's got a quarterback to draw, as he's in to take it with 9:40 to go in the third. And now we're going to reset again, waiting in suspense. Now the puck is dropped back to the blue line. O'Keefe will corral it. Slides it across for Talacro. Back near side for O'Keefe. O'Keefe snaps it back to his right to Talacro. They play catch at the blue line. O'Keefe down into the corner. Left corner to the top of circle. Murray drops it off for O'Keefe. He'll cycle it around. Goes off the side of that rebound. Bounces free to Murray in the slot. Back up top for O'Keefe. He goes to the blue line for Talacro, who corrals it cleanly. Back for O'Keefe. Looking for a play. Back to Talacro. Again, 30 seconds without a shot. Now a big drive right in the slot and pushed just wide off the stick of big 77 in black, Jackson Vates. Now Bug gets taken down. Comes free. Far side for Sable. Sable into the corner. And it's stolen away by the Bugs and cleared all the way down. Big kill with 1:18 to go here on the PK for the Bugs. A really good penalty kill unit against a really good Brahmas power play. I mean, it's top 5 all around, so we'll take it. 8:47 and rolling. Bugs up by 2, trying to hang on this Friday night. Set near side. Isaacson can't corral it. Earhart gets it. Duke tries to feed it down low, and then Capano gets knocked off the puck, and it's played forward. Adams will track it down. He'll turn and burn, and it goes all the way down for another successful clear with 45 seconds to go on the kill. 8:20 and rolling. Third period here in Dallas. Good game between the Brahmas and the Bugs. It's been back and forth. Brahmas are doubling up on shots, by the way, but the Bugs have made the most of their chances. Lone Star brings it in, offensive end, into the corner. It goes, wrapped up the boards. Nasruddin for Isaacson. Left point, back to the right point. Up top again, Nasruddin, high slot for Isaacson. Left circle, drive. That never got to that. Went off with Jasser in front, and it's backhanded all the way down by Mitchell Reed with 18 seconds to go on the PK. Here we go. Big moments here late in period number 3. 2-0 the Bugs with the lead. As the Brahmas will start to break out up the near side of the ice with speed at Scanlon. Scanlon going coast to coast. It's stolen away at the blue line by Remy, but he gives it back. Scanlon for Vates. High slot, Damphouse finds it off to the right circle. Back for Damphouse. Blue line as Hoagland comes out of the box. Big drive there, and Phillips, standing tall, will glove it down for a whistle with 7.5 to go.
Picked the puck out and got it in his glove. Not like the middle on the magnet. No, he picked it up like picking a tulip. So, I'm full of flood phrases.
Picking the tulips. We'll take it. 7:33 left in the third. Shots 31-14. The Lone Star Brahmas have played to win the game, but the Bugs currently have the advantage. 7.5 to go on this Friday night. All right, here we go, far side. Hoagland wins it back to the corner for Owen Case, who slaps it around the boards, but it's Talacro who will kick it into the bottom of the circle. Back for Owen in the corner. Feeds it into open ice for Jonah Jasser at his own blue line. Starts up the near wing. Jasser into the zone. Can't get it to Earhart, though. That's played by Talacro. Given away, though, by the Brahmas below the goal line. Jasser whacking at it. Eventually controlled. And Jonah gets it right back. Splits the D. Into the corner it goes. Up the far wall. Give away, and Earhart blew a tire. He would have had a breakaway, but a chance in front on a second chance for Hoagland on the putback. He pushed it wide. It comes all the way out. Up ahead, Wilson over skates. It's Sable around Wilson. Sable into the corner. Fed it to the doorstep, and Phillips got a piece to bounce it to the blue line. Picked back up by the alternate captain, Scanlon. It's stolen away from Damphouse over his stick. Scanlon gets it back, works through the middle. That purple Bull logo rated center ice here at the iTech Sports Center. Brought near side for Damphouse. Tried to dodge Wilson, who got a piece of the puck. It squirts free for Hoagland as Phillips turns out of side. 6.5 to go as Evan brings up the middle of the ice, fires it in from the red line. That one's a shot on net out of it. Wrapped around the boards, and this goes out of play. Draws a whistle with 6:25 to go, and the Bugs had a couple of good chances there, and if Earhart doesn't blow a tire, he's looking at a grade A chance there.
No, you're right, but more importantly, it was down there. Earhart was able to whack at it to try to give Evan Hoagland another opportunity to get it past Leo Gabriel, and you love to see that. I mentioned it last week. Try to get to it, even if you blow a tire or if you're like 2-3 inches away from it. Make that opportunity. Try to make that opportunity because it can lead to something good, and it almost did for Evan Hoagland.
Alrighty, puck is down after a second try. And that's all the way down. Icing going to be waved out because Isaacson won the foot race by about 6 steps on Remy. Behind the goal, Pusateri will pitchfork it forward to the blue line, but not out of the zone. Held in as Isaacson corrals it below the goal line again. Bugs will poke it up to the top of the circles. Baird around the back check will bank it out to center ice. Flip back up ahead as Isaacson touches up immediately into the zone, but Pusateri will steal it away from him. Loves his forward to the blue line and eventually goes to his stick. But again, quickly as Isaacson forces the turnover at the red line. Isaacson into open ice. A big shot through the crease. That one's wide. Phillips never got a piece of it because it went just around the top of the crease. Fans wanted a scoring chance there. Didn't get one as that one paddled out to center. Flipped up. It's tipped up into the netting and out of play off a wall and away from everybody. So nobody had to make a catch that time with 5:40 left in the third.
Almost went to the party deck over there to our left. And luckily it stayed away from us.
Went into the party deck, and the girl up there, I don't think she would have seen that puck.
I don't think so either.
It would have been a fever pitch moment.
Yep.
If my dad's listening, he'll get the reference. I don't know if you do, Duncan, but
probably not. But I'll learn.
Good baseball movie there, A Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore. And you know, funny story about that. It's about the 2004 Red Sox run, and the point of the movie was to show how bad they had been. And of course, that's the year they won the World Series, so they completely ruined the whole prop. But it's fun nonetheless as the Brahmas will start out the breakout. Big collision behind the play, and now it's brought up ahead. Around Adams, into the slot it goes, but it's pushed wide, and Tremblay will try to play it up the wall. Gets knocked off the puck. Below the goal line, it's controlled. 5 minutes to go. Bugs with a 2-goal lead. Got to keep an eye on Gabriel in net. When do they decide to pull him? As Julio will send it deep. Gabriel out of his net to play it. Backhands it across. Almost gave it away to Tremblay, who was streaking down the middle that time. Owen Case fires it from center. It was tipped, so icing waved off. 4:50 and rolling. Third period. Bugs up 2. Being outshot 32-15, though. This is played up ahead. Foot race forward. Murray's going to win it below the goal line around Nandor. Flips it up the far wall, and the Bugs will clear. This is going to be an icing whistle. That'll stop time with 4:34 left here in the third and final frame. Bugs trying to hold on with a 2-0 advantage, and Gabriel stays in net for now.
And just what I have at least. And, of course, all icings this season are brought to you by your friends at Louder's Baking Company. Like I mentioned, it's Louder's Baking Company, the newest corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs hockey. So, face-off will come out to the left of Ethan Phillips, and Evan Hogan will take the draws. So, we'll see where Leo Gabriel goes here in the next 4 minutes and 34 seconds. 4:34, good number for wrestling fans. If you know, you know. Moving on.
Off the draw, Earhart got a piece of it. Sent it over to the wall. Bugs just got to play defense here as Owen Case will wrap it around the boards. Damphouse picks it back up to the blue line. Not out of the zone. No, it's Geller holds it in. He takes a big hit from Evan Hogan. The crowd wants to call. Not going to get one. Centering feed there. They're seeing it with their heart and not their eyes. There we go. Mark Johnson coming in clutch as always. As Sable will play it in over the line again. Far side. Quickly into the zone. Big drive and scooped up off the ice by Phillips. He'll hang on for a whistle with 4:11 left to go in the third.
Stuff there from Ethan Phillips once again to get the puck attracted to him, like many men and women coming up this Valentine's Day. I don't think that made sense. I don't think that did, but it did. You know what? Just forget I said it. It sounded better in my head. Let's just put it like that.
No comment. 4:11 to go. It's getting late. We started at 7:30. It's a late night, you know, but approaching the 10 o'clock hour here in the Central Time Zone outside of Dallas. These two teams again tomorrow night, 7:30 as well. You're going to want to tune into that one for sure after the way tonight is gone. High slot, big drive. That's pushed just wide. Crowd next to us thought it went in, but it squirts just wide of the far post. Back out to center. Delayed offside. They'll tag up. And quickly we see again offensively, the Brahmas don't let you even get to center ice. They let you clear it out, and then they get it right back in. Lopez Corsi through the middle logo. Pitchforks it off to his left. Up ahead for Barrett. He's shoved off the puck by Scanlon. Corralled back of the cage by Lone Star. 3:40 to go. They're on the breakout. Gabriel up to the hash marks. He's waiting for instructions from his bench, but he stays in the crease for now. Derek feed right out in front is Christian. Tricking out a slot, trying to get a piece of it. And Lopez Corsi will fire it out to center ice. Bounces free to the stick right now of Liam O'Keefe. He sent it off to the far side as they'll circle around defensive end. Gabriel again to the hash marks, and he's going to get the signal. He's off for the extra skater with 3:19 to go. Bates at the circle, knocked down as he sent one just wide. Adams picks it up below the goal line. Adams will flip it up ahead. Doesn't get past Damphouse, but he misplays it. Tremblay in a foot race at Battle of the 24s. Willie shoves him off the puck. Controlled near side for Geller. Geller up the wall for Capano. Drops it off for Isaacson, who spins off a check and dumps it in. Back of the cage, Reed plays it, gives it away. Back of Phillips off to his left below the goal line. 2:50 and rolling here. 2-0 lead for the Bugs. Here's Damphouse. Blue line fires in the slot. Knocked down by McFadden. Never got to the net. Brahmas hold on to it though. D to D, they go at the blue line for Damphouse. Feeds it to the bottom of the left circle. Isaacson centering feed. And a back check delivered there by Willie. Will steal it away from Tavares. In the corner, it's still controlled by the Brahmas. Isaacson wraps it around the boards. Tremblay will get it. Send it back near side for Isaacson. Wide open in the slot. Turned aside. Griner corrals it. And from a knee, gets spun down. Should have been a penalty. The stick is in Griner's, which is a hook last time I checked. But nonetheless, Damphouse knocked off the puck. And feeding after is Jonah Jasser. Flipped up ahead from the blue line all the way down. Just wide of the empty net. That'll draw an icing whistle with 2:07 to go. But time starting to run out for Lone Star.
Oh, man, that's unfortunate as it goes down for Louder's taking company icing. But, man, that's unfortunate. But, well, there's 2:07. It looks like, unless my eye sign has me incorrect, might be a timeout here called.
Now, let's see. I haven't seen anything yet. Well, the Bucks can't call a timeout. They ice the puck.
Oh, yeah. So.
I think Soupy wants a timeout, but he can't do it there.
Yeah. So, unless Dan Wildfong calls, yes.
Yeah,
all right.
That's an interesting decision there with the Bugs unable to change. He calls a timeout. 2:07 to go. Buckle those seatbelts. It's a bumpy ride all the way to the finish. 2-0 Bugs. 2:07 to go on the Mudbugs Broadcast Network.
Fireplace Specialties is a proud corporate partner of Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey. Fireplace gas logs, glass doors, wood stoves, mantled and grills. They've got it all. They're located at 8500 Box Road in Shreveport or on the web at fireplacespecialties.net. Once again, that's fireplacespecialties.net. Fireplace Specialties is your fireplace headquarters.
Hey fan, this is William Alexis Tremblay and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and a Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Walker. Now let's get back to the action. Let's go Bugs.
Horns galore here at the NYTEX Sports Center. 2-0 Bugs with the lead with 2:07 on the clock. My goodness. So Leo Gabriel will stay out after the timeout. So the extra skater and the Bugs again just got to play defense. You don't have to make the big offensive play, Duncan.
And although that is certainly true, you definitely want to get down there. But now, more importantly, as Section B finally subsides, top of Section B, I should say, subsides the Horns, and we get ready for this face-off to the right-hand side of Ethan Phillips. Leo Gabriel still out. Next 2 minutes, 7 seconds. Here we go. Oh, well, almost here we go.
We're going to get a false start again.
Here we go.
McFadden to the wall it goes. Vate's tied up and knocked down by Remy, but Damphouse controls the blue line. Goaltender out for the extra skater. Centering feed. Sent near side. Big drive and a stop by Phillips. Sprawls to his left and hugs the post and draws a whistle with 1:57. Another D-zone drop coming now for the Bugs, being outshot 35-15. They hold the 2-0 advantage. Gabriel stays out for the extra skater.
Let's see where we leave things as Lucier finished getting instructions for Dan Wildfong as probably well as assistant coach Logan Murphy, and faceoff will go off to the left-hand side of Ethan Phillips. So, and Benta Cinque is getting.
They're trying to get him off the ice, yeah. McFadden tied up along the draw. Into the corner it goes as Erhard shoves his man along the far half wall. Back up top, it's slid for Oliver. Oliver at the point, knocked away. Hoagland got it out just barely. No, it stayed in. How did it stay in? Ooh, that line needed that extra coat of paint to keep that one in. As Hoagland's got it, he'll fire it out to center ice. Stick down by Damphouse, but he's got it at center. Capano near side, rifled it in for the red line. Around the board, Phillips got a piece. Leaves it off for Hoagland. Hoagland fires it back the other direction. And it comes near side, up the wall. Capano shoved off the puck. Case gets it, clears it up. Damphouse kicks it in. Goes to Erhard at center. Erhard knocked off him as a big hit there as Hoagland gets knocked down from Oliver. Now a shot rifle from the blue line, and it goes in. A big goal, almost 200 feet. And the Bugs are up 3-0 with 1:12 to go as they rifle it the length of the ice.
Love to see it. And fun fact, Zach, last time we were in this building on a Friday night, you know who got the empty net goal? Remy Pusateri. But it wasn't from quite that far out, but now as the replay gets shown on NATV, just rifled it down and just through the air. And of course, it'll be Remy Pusateri coming from Owen Case, so it's good to have the Case family leave with a, well, not leave yet, I'm sure they're probably staying for the weekend, but leave tonight at least on a good moment for Mr. Owen Case. But wow, what a rifle from Remy Pusateri.
The best part is with that one, that you can tell the difference if they are shooting for the net or just trying to clear. He was just trying to clear. And because you saw he put the air under it, he just wanted it to kind of lob out to center. But it kept on going like a rocket with a trail behind it. And it's 3-0 with 1:09 to go. Here's Adams through the middle, dumps it in. Gabriel stays in net now. Let's see if they decide to pull him should the Brahmas control. Even down 3, still gives a chance to go. Got to play smart now if you're the Bugs as well. McFadden near wing as Gabriel stays in. Back down, it's controlled. Bugs at center ice control, 49 seconds, flipped in. Into the corner goes for Sable. Sable ramps it around the boards behind the goal line. Up the far wall, to the blue line it comes. Up the middle of the ice, it's Alexander. Streaks down the slot, fires one. Lifts it over top the net, 35 seconds to go. You'd love to see Phillips get the shutout. Here's Alexander, left point, big drive, and Phillips, with our hearts racing, makes a stop. The broadcaster's jinx almost worked, but he gets a stop with 29 seconds to go. What a stop for Ethan Phillips.
That's just one of the many stops he's had tonight, and it just, wow, that almost, the broadcaster thinks you're right, almost worked, but you know, a knocking on the wood always helps, as my good friend Gary Hood III back in Montgomery always says, but we'll find out here. Next 29 seconds, looks like Leo Gabriel's just going to stay in, and I don't blame him at this point.
You know, I think the broadcast jinx takes more skill than broadcasting does.
Right.
But Alexander all the way down, 22 seconds to go. Brahmas will settle it down again. You got to play smart here. Don't do anything dumb if you're the Bugs. Just take your victory and ride off into the sunset, and don't, you know, mix it up with anybody. Here it comes, brought in over the line. Tavares shoved off the puck there by Remy. He's throwing the body around, and he has to dodge the clearing attempt there as Alexander gets it at center. Fires it. Phillips will glove it down for Owen Case. He'll get a touch on it, and the Bugs, a 3-goal victory here on this Friday night. They squashed the Brahmas like a pomegranate. And it's 3-0 on this Friday, and they take the series lead 3-2.
Pomegranate, one of the words?
That sure was.
I love it. No, but 3-0 win for the Bugs, and it's Jonah Jasser now takes his customary position out by the entrance and exit of the Bugs as the, looks like some chuck-a-pucks and foam Brahmas gets thrown out onto the ice and hits Jared Griner, and he just smiles it off. You love to see it.
He starts waving. I love it. Jared is...
Oh, and Vinny's bringing it on. All right, well.
I say Vinny will probably go after somebody. Griner will just...
Oh, and fun fact, Philly, and that's Philly, he threw the net over, and the ice crew technician not happy with that, but I mean, that's a goalie special right there, the shutout. So
absolutely, 3-0 victory for the Shreveport Mudbugs. That is the first shutout of the year for Ethan Phillips. He improves to 3-4. We'll bring you back to recap it after this on a Mudbugs Broadcast Network. Bugs take the victory 3-0.
Fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case, or visit them online at defatapi.com. Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker. Down Home Meats is a proud corporate partner of your Shreveport Mudbugs. Whether you're grilling outdoors looking for a hearty and flavorful sausage for breakfast, a gumbo platter, or anything else, Down Home Meats has the perfect sausage for all occasion. Once again, that's Down Home Meats in the Stonewall, Louisiana area, and available at all major grocery stores. Down Home Meats, the perfect old-school smoke-flavored sausage, and doing old-school sausage the way it was meant to be.
Hey fan, this is William Alexis Tremblay, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and a Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and Duncan Walker. Now let's get back to the action. Let's go, Bugs.
Back here in Dallas for the Mudbugs wrap-up show brought to you by Nicky's Mexican Restaurant. Don't drink the water, drink our margaritas. I still got to get to Nicky's, but nonetheless, that's If we're ever at home, maybe we'll go to Nicky's. But, 5 straight weeks on the road is going to do that to you. Nonetheless, a big Friday night victory for the Bugs. 3-0 the score. They improved to 18-16, 3-3, and 10-8, 2-2. On the road, Ethan Phillips gets his first shutout of the season. It improves to 3-4 with a 2.99 goals against average, 891 save percentage. And this Brahma's leading offense, 3.4 goals per game. The best offense in the league held off of the scoreboard on this Friday night here at the NITEC Sports Center.
Oh, gosh, there's so many words right now. I can describe it. But the best one I think that describes it, good. As Hunter Robinson makes his way through the entrance exit tunnel, and as we were coming back from break, and as you were recapping things, had a lot of people, and of course some fans who made the trip down, tell me that, and I might be getting this wrong because I couldn't really hear him that well, but if I remember correctly, he said something about a Brahma is something to do with a chicken. I believe he said a Brahma is above a chicken or a Brahma is below a chicken.
Why is their logo a bull?
Well, there's actually a funny story about that. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Birmingham Bulls did not. I'll just leave it at that. It's kind of like how the Timberwolves and Washington Red Wolves, now the Commanders, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that because I get the feeling that that's not a story that needs to be spread. But then again, it's almost 30 years old, so who knows? Maybe I'll tell it sometime. No, but more importantly, Zach, 3-0 win. You gotta love it. And that's just good. I can't say any other words. And like I said, when it doesn't go our way, 24-hour rule. But like I said last Friday night, 24-hour rule especially starts now because don't get me wrong, a 3-0 win against these first place Lone Star Brahmas always nice. But the biggest thing is do it tomorrow. Do it tomorrow and get home. Yeah, that's just kind of where I leave things as the sticks fall down behind the bench. One of our healthy scratches, Joe Semango. Well, Joe Semango's actually on the injured side of things, but as our healthy scratch, Jason Simons, and, well, actually Joe Semango might be able to get down there and get the sticks. I just noticed it from a perspective. But no, Zach, more important thing is Bugs get the win, and 24-hour rule starts now.
Liam Wolf-Talby got goal number 1 to put the Bugs up 1-0 early in that second period, not even 3 minutes in. Jonah Jasser in the final minute of that second frame, he got a goal as well. That's Jonah's 9th and Wolf-Talby's 5th goal on the season. And Remy Pusateri got just his 2nd goal of the year on the empty netter, rifling it, I'd say, about 180 feet because this rink is 200 feet as it's supposed to be, unlike the Milano Cortina rink, but that is... It's not late enough to start talking about that rink, but it's a mess over there in Italy. But 200 feet here, so that had to be at least 180 feet. Remy Pusateri gets the goal, and again, that's his 2nd of the season, and broke now his 18-game points drought. So he's back on the board. 3-0 victory for the Mudbugs. We'll take a quick timeout. On the other side, we'll recap it with the NAHL South out-of-town scoreboard. Back in a moment on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Are you looking for the perfect place to host your next event? Whether it's a birthday party, corporate get-together, school trip, or any private celebration, George's Pond at Hirsch Coliseum has you covered. From ice-level excitement to unforgettable memories, your group will have an experience like never before. Start planning your next event today. Call 318-636-7094 to book your private outing at George's Pond.
Hey, Mudbug fans, this is Duncan Welker with the Shreveport Mudbugs. DeFata & Associates Investigative and Risk Analysis Services has been conducting professional and private investigations for over 20 years. They offer both a full range of services to both businesses and individuals. Whether you need an investigator for a personal matter like a child custody case or suspect an internal theft problem within your business, DeFata & Associates can get you the information you need. Call Jerry and the team today at 318-635-9944 to talk about your case or visit them online at defatapi.com.
Hey, this is Tyler Hodges, and you're listening to Shreveport Mudbugs Hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network.
Mudbugs wrap-up show is always brought to you by our friends at Dickey's Mexican Restaurant. Don't drink the water. Try our margaritas today as we Recap the Bugs' 3-0 victory on this Friday night. Again, they improved now to 18-16, 3-3 overall, and improved to 3-2 over the Lone Star Brahmas. They steal 2 points away from Lone Star, and for the first time this season, Duncan, Lone Star has lost 3 straight games.
That is something. I'll put it like that. Of course, now granted, one of the losses, if I have my math correct, it was a shootout loss to the Odessa Jackalopes, but still counts as a loss, granted as a shootout loss, because I feel like that's kind of an underrated stat category. Like, not a lot of leagues mention that. The NAHL does, and not going to lie, as a sports stats nerd, as everybody in my college at Huntington will tell you, I value the shootout loss stat because it tells you a lot about a team, but you also got to point out it. But anyways, it's a little late for me to get into that rant. So, and Zach, while we were at break, before we get on the recap side of things from tonight's 3-0 win, we talked about how a Brahma and a chicken look together. A Brahma chicken, they are, and this is according to Google AI, so fun stuff there, is a large, hardy, and gentle breed often called the kings of the poultry world, known for their feathered legs, calm temperament, and suitability for cold climates. So I don't think calm temperability, well, not tonight, yeah.
I was going to say, it lists later on that the temperament known as gentle giant with a calm, friendly, and huggable demeanor. Now, that's Remy Pusateri to a T.
Oh, yeah.
The Lone Star Brahmas, I don't know.
No.
But nonetheless, as we roll on here late in the Dallas evening, let's take a look now at our out-of-town scoreboard, take you around the NAHL South standings. A lot of things have happened the last couple of weeks in those standings, and we expect nonetheless as we hit the final 18 games of the season.
Of course, thanks, Zach. So let's take a look at the South Division scores. Final score out of Oklahoma, the Amarillo Wranglers 4, Oklahoma Warriors 1 off of goals from Caden Higarty, Jake Thornton, and actually Caden Higarty had a 2-goal night, and Ty Yazadi with the 4th goal on the night for the Wranglers. Moving along, game that just went final now, the New Mexico Ice Wolves take down the Corpus Christi Ice Rays 3-1 after a 2-goal third period, coming off a 1-goal second period. Of course, those goals from the Ice Wolves were from Sean Smith, Jeremy Sprung, and Andy Earl. So, moving along, El Paso and Odessa, I believe it looks like it's gone final. So, El Paso will take that one 2-1 over the Odessa Jackalopes off of a goal a period game from Aiden Bergner and Ethan Wolcott. And of course, here in North Richland Hills, just a further stone's throw away from the Dallas Fort Worth area. 3-0 in favor of the Bugs. Now let's take a look at those South Division standings as they are updated. Lone Star still in first place, 59 points. El Paso 52 in second. New Mexico third with 49 points. Corpus Christi with 44. Mudbugs with 42. Mind you, the Bugs have 40 games played, so they have a game in hand. They have one game in hand over most of these South Division teams. The only one they do not have a game in hand over is the Oklahoma Warriors, who are with 39 games played on the year. But nonetheless, moving on, Odessa sitting in 6th place with 42 points. Oklahoma, as I mentioned, 39 games played, 41 points so far. And the Amarillo Wranglers, they're moving on up bit by bit. And I say moving on up, but moving on up, that point tally rather. 38 points sitting in 8th place. And Zach, I think that's all from me. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, do good, be good. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, claws up, go Bugs. Zach, set us home.
Big 3-0 win again on this Friday night to put the Bugs a couple of points closer to that last playoff spot in the South Division and taking a 3-2 lead in the season series over the Lone Star Brahmas. That's the Bugs' first 3 goals or better win since January 2nd against the New Mexico Ice Wolves. Big victory again, Wolf Talby, Jasser, and Pusateri, the goal scorers. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, our next home game coming up at the end of February. 3 straight weeks at home. Be sure to get your tickets now at tickets.georgespond34.com, and we'll hopefully, again, at some point, be back at home to play in front of the wonderful fans in Shreveport at George's Pond. 3-0 the final score. One final time here from all of us, Duncan Welker and the rest of the crew. I'm Zach Grant saying so long, good night, and good hockey.
This is head coach Jason Soupy Campbell, and you've been listening to our presentation of Shreveport Mudbugs hockey on NATV and the Mudbugs Audio Network with Zach Grant and your own Duncan